Radio Play Comics is meant to adapt the stories mostly of great unadapted old and forgotten comics from the past. I use voice acting and narration to abridge the work as much as possible without lessening its impact, and to bring these stories to life the best way I can. Please enjoy. Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to the Fusion Space for today's episode of Radio Play Comics, Batman, No Man's Land, Part 1. The event No Man's Land went on for about a year or more, and I hope to adapt the essential parts of the story in 3 parts, all similar in size to this one, which will continue on from my Cataclysm video, and cover roughly the first 5 months of the event. If you missed it, Cataclysm was a 16-part story telling of a massive earthquake which destroyed large portions of Gotham City. Batman was thrown into an entirely new kind of battle with no villain behind it. The quake was simply an unfortunate natural event. Batman and his allies saved as many people from the collapsing city as they could, and took down a villain who falsely claimed responsibility for the quake in order to extort a ransom. Luckily, all of Bruce Wayne's buildings in Gotham were quake-proofed, and served as hospitals and housing centers during and after the disaster. And life went on. The heading Aftershock was on a few months of Bat-books after Cataclysm and before No Man's Land, but nothing of importance happens in them. They were mostly filler material, detailing more rescue operations like we saw in Cataclysm, with occasional villain attacks to bridge the gap and show that Gotham was more trouble than it was worth to repair, and that every effort had been made before the radical step that would follow. I would also bet DC wanted the extra time to finish planning No Man's Land, as I expect they waited to see how well Cataclysm would sell before going all in on the long No Man's Land event. If you need proof that DC would fix this amount of damage to a city with magic overnight, that's exactly what happened to fix up Metropolis following a similar level of destruction during the Fall of Metropolis storyline in 1994. After Lex Luthor took his final revenge because his clone body was dying, Zatanna and Superman guided the people of Metropolis to remember the city as it was before the damage, and poof, it was fixed in a few moments. In that case, it served the ongoing stories better to have the city repaired that way, while in this case, examining how the destruction would affect the city and its people was the entire point of the event. It's also fitting that Superman's town gets the easy way out with literal magic, while Batman's town has to endure the cruel whims of circumstance. No Man's Land begins when the federal government officially elects to abandon Gotham City, to close the city off to the outside country and declare it a federal no man's land, an area of land outside of the United States' ownership and control. The people were hastily evacuated, as you'll see in a brief prologue, leaving many trapped who would have liked to leave, as well as all those who decided to stay, for a multitude of reasons. For some, Gotham was the only home they'd ever known, and for others, the prospect of no law enforcement sounded like a criminal paradise. Some stayed because they just couldn't afford to leave, and others stayed because the skills they had would be worth more in the disaster area. And that includes both those who thought that selfishly and unselfishly alike. Gotham is still Gotham, in other words, and the parallel that might occur to anyone who played Batman Arkham City isn't quite an accurate one for that large reason. This isn't just a locked-off city full of criminals. Many innocents and good people who just wanted to help those who couldn't leave have remained. But while that much has stayed the same, everything else about the way of life here has changed, and the depth of that change will only become apparent over time. And no one has to learn that hard lesson more than Batman himself, who has vanished as the No Man's Land Edict went into effect. As such, the early story will follow Jim and Barbara Gordon as they try to establish a beachhead of order in a city in the grip of chaos. Now that the introduction is over, let's begin. We'll begin with a brief prologue consisting of the most important moments from the road to No Man's Land, a 12-issue prelude to the main event comic. The rabble-rousing politician Nicholas Scratch makes his name by leading the charge for the federal government to abandon Gotham City. After months of attempted reconstruction, the situation is grim and the city has run out of resources. Only the federal government has the power to change Gotham's fate, and one of her most prominent citizens, Bruce Wayne, is on his way to Capitol Hill to speak on Gotham's behalf.
Who's gonna speak for you, Mr. and Mrs. Six-Pack?
Scratch! 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 For God's sake, Bruce, let me turn it off. No, I need to hear what he's saying, Gary. It's his same rant. Unfortunately, it's reflected in the polls. tracking polls show Gotham's fate is sealed. 82% want no tax dollars allotted. 93% say they won't miss Gotham. 70% were in favor of another quake. And you're on my side. I'm paid to be. It's hopeless, Bruce. The odds are stacked a mile high against you. They always have been, Gary. They always have been. Bruce Wayne's address to Congress is also televised to the world. I see Gotham as an anvil. One is broken or tempered on it. So many trials, so much misfortune, so little hope. But some thrive there. Gothamites are a tough breed. They're proud of their town and their talent for living in it. My family has lived there for 2 centuries. It was there that they built the financial giant that is a leading player in a half-dozen industries. And it was Gothamites who helped build it. By their sweat and their labor, and sometimes their lives, they made Gotham a world competitor. Against all the odds. But despite their troubles and their setbacks, Gothamites keep going. And there's something noble about that. It's an admirable trait, I think, to hold out hope when all hope is gone. Every city has its own personality. I like to think that dogged determination is Gotham's. It's a town that's never had its hand out, that's never played the victim. It's a town that's used to standing alone. It bears being feared and maligned and forgotten. It helps itself, even when the burdens become too great. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Gotham can only help itself from this latest catastrophe with your help, the country's help. I know the people of my hometown will work hard to rebuild. I know they'll repay this nation for any sacrifice it has to make. There's simply more to be gained by helping us than abandoning us. And I'm betting my entire fortune on it, without a single doubt or regret. That's my plea. Thank you for giving me this time. Wow. Mr. Wayne, a few questions, if you will. You must be aware of your hometown's reputation as seen by the average American. Yes, Senator. And I have a plan for the restoration of Gotham that will ease the usage of federal funds. With my own fortune, I'm creating the Gotham Redevelopment Corporation. It's a plan put together by Lucius Fox, my chief executive officer. Publicly traded shares will help Gotham out of this calamity with private monies. And they will pay dividends. I guarantee it. Will this work, Mr. Fox? Not a hope in hell. But look at Bruce sell it. I have that much faith in the city and its citizens. Look at all they've survived. You can't give up on them now. All the horrors that my city has witnessed these past years have one thing in common. No one had the power to stop them. No one could turn aside the tragedy. But that's not the case today. Today, you can make a difference in 7 million lives with the stroke of a pen. With your word. Bruce, you can't just leave. I've said all I have to say. Mr. Wayne, we have more questions. No, you have questions to ask yourselves. And I hope to God you can live with the answers. After the government has made its decision, the people left in the city are left on their own to evacuate. The military station themselves at every bridge, road, and tunnel connecting Gotham to the outside world, and they plant explosives. What was unthinkable only a few months ago has become the inevitable. With a tidal wave of political support, the city is being shut down. Any citizens wishing to leave have been given 48 hours' notice. We can only guess at the dire living conditions in what's left of the quake-ravaged city. Even from my vantage point across the harbor, we can hear sporadic gunfire from over the water. This is Tara Shanson Jimenez, Haven 11. Thanks, Tara. I guess anyone who was going to get away from Gotham is long gone. What's on the scoreboard tonight, Skip? There was no getting away from a total shutout as the Keystone City Patriots fell to the Bloodhaven Bloodhounds. In an Oracle throws a coffee mug through the screen.
I gotta control my temper before I run out of monitors.
Lucius Fox takes one of the last helicopters out of Gotham, securing a few final things from Wayne Corporation headquarters, and more concerned with getting everyone else out before himself. He sees the bridges being destroyed from the sky. It's begun already.
I still can't believe they're going through with it.
Nothing could save us. Not from the outside threats. Not from ourselves. At Arkham Asylum, and with no other choices, Jeremiah Arkham has released all the inmates, rather than allowing them to starve in their cells, as all supplies have long since stopped coming in. He asked them to promise not to go to Gotham, though, as the city has enough troubles, and they all said they wouldn't. But other than the Riddler, who does see greener pastures nearly anywhere else, very few of them stick to their word. After all the fuss and all the nonsense, they run off and leave it to us. Crazy world, ain't it? At the GCPD, Commissioner Jim Gordon looked at the broken bat signal still in his office where it fell during the quake.
So, how are we going to do this?
What do you mean?
You said we're staying in Gotham, Jim. What are two cops with zero authority going to do here?
Are you trying to talk me out of this, Sarah?
I know better than that, tough guy.
Well, there has to be a few people who think like us. We rally them and give them a direction. Just because the government has abandoned Gotham doesn't mean the law has to.
Well,
Jim and Sarah Gordon go downstairs to find the lobby full of ex-Gotham police led by Harvey Bullock and Renee Montoya, waiting to help. What's the deal, Commissioner? There's not enough of us to cover all of Gotham.
but we'll do it if you tell us to.
You say the word, and we'll read the whole damn city their rights. You want to know what the deal is, officers? We take this one precinct at a time. We've all seen Fort Apache, right? That's the plan. Nightwing and Robin investigate the grounds of Wayne Manor, where a grim discovery awaits them.
We lost that battle, huh? But the war goes on. With no one to turn to, Gotham will need us more than ever. What can we do? We go back to the cave and wait for Batman. Nightwing?
My
God. Well, where's Wayne Manor?
The whole mansion has been plowed into the cave.
No manor? No cave? What's this mean?
It means the game has changed. Next, No Man's Land. And after the earth shattered and the buildings crumbled, the nation abandoned Gotham City. Then, only the valiant, the venal, and the insane remained in the place they called No Man's Land. No Law and a New Order. Part 1. Values. Signs posted around Gotham's perimeter read, Gotham City, city limits, no trespassing. You are now leaving the United States. By federal authority, this area has been declared off limits. Hell comes to Gotham City. Soldiers are stationed at the wall, lined with barbed wire and guard towers, covering all land approaches to Gotham City. What do you really figure the government's got in mind with this? Shut the place down for a few years, bulldoze it, turn it into, I don't know, a parking lot? I figure they got no plan. It was the cheapest solution. Shut it down, cut it off. No federal aid, no state aid, no disaster relief. Saves tax dollars. Tax dollars? Hell! It was all a plot by the big insurance companies not to have to pay any claims after the quake. A truck approaches the military checkpoint. The pastor driving it stops and rolls down his window.
Go home.
This is humanitarian aid. Canned goods, medicine, batteries.
Nothing goes in, nothing comes out. That's the law.
But there are people still in there.
And if they had any brains, they'd have gotten out when everybody else did. They had their chance. When a few million folks pack up and blow out, why would anybody stay behind?
What difference can it possibly make to you if I want to throw some supplies over the wall?
Personally, none. But when I'm wearing this uniform, my personal opinion means zip. Now be a good man of God and turn around. Plenty of Gotham refugees on the outside can use that aid.
He turns around and drives away. An enterprising soul has set up helicopter tours of the Gotham perimeter for $50 per person. One taker has the bright idea to drop a box of food in and take pictures of the people who will fight over it. He bribes the pilot to violate the restricted airspace, but they are soon chased off by the military, and he drops the food on the way out.
Yeah.
Down on the ground, a few young scavengers find the supplies, retrieving a sandwich, a box of cookies, and a fresh apple. The boy with the sandwich soon has it stolen from him by a thief on a bike.
Yeah. Hey!
He fires a spiked tennis ball at the thief with a slingshot, hitting him in the back. Two grown men approach as he stops the bike to remove it. Ex-cops Harvey Bullock and Bach retrieve the stolen sandwich and point out that this area is now under their protection, tagged with the letters GCPD in blue spray paint. They take his bike and his coat as punishment and threaten him that they've got an old-school judge taking hands from thieves as they did in the old world, before sending him out of their territory. After he leaves, Harvey muses that they ought to actually get such a judge. The girl who grabbed the cookies also has them stolen, but no one is there to provide her with justice. Instead, the boy who stole the cookies escapes her by going into Scarface's lair, and he attempts to trade them to the crime boss. Scarface instead steals them himself, claiming that if they were found nearby, they were his to begin with. And Scarface shoots the young thief. And the poor boy finds that he has traded his life. The gangsters serving Scarface wonder what they've gotten themselves into, as the puppet is fed a cookie. But after all, he's got the bullets. The boy who found the apple prepares to eat it himself, but is persuaded to trade it by a passerby. He turns down soap, seeing no immediate need for it. But he trades the apple gladly for 3 cans of beans and 2 cans of soup. The man who got the apple takes it to a local trader and is offered an array of items, a cell phone, a Walkman tape player, and a Rolex watch, before he trades the apple for a flashlight with a set of good batteries. The trader makes a call and prepares to trade the apple for a box of 9mm handgun ammunition. In a fancy nightclub, the Penguin interrupts his stage show to announce an auction for the fresh apple to his high-class guests. He has bid items of great value for it, 5 and 10 gallons of gasoline, a case of lighters, a fur coat, even a woman for the night, but he chooses a 20-carat diamond to exchange for it. A diamond has little value here in No Man's Land, but word is, Penguin has a secret pipeline to the outside. Pengy summons the winner of the auction to the stage to claim his prize, but only after he has a chomp of it himself, reminding everyone that the Penguin always takes his bite. Helicopters patrol the perimeter of Gotham City, still half destroyed from the quake, and now cut off from the outside world by new walls and guard towers on land, and by other measures at sea.
Day 93 of No Man's Land. Gotham is still dead. Here in No Man's Land, the area formerly known as Gotham, the universe has gotten smaller. For most of them who stayed, it goes no farther than they can see. Mine's a little bigger. It always has been. I was lucky. I was also prepared. My building, being a Wayne property, was quake-proof. And after the plague, I had stashed a ton of supplies. Food, water, medicine, batteries. I'm big on batteries. Thank God and Wayne Tech for rechargeable solar NiCads. I can stay wired, even though nobody else is. Yes, I thought about leaving with everyone else. Seriously. But there was this nagging sense of duty. I must have gotten it from my father. Duty and ego. I'm good at this, better than anybody. Besides, I didn't know how to do anything else. Information. What could be more important in such a crisis? Having it, getting it, sharing it. Maps of the city, knowledge of various underground supply stashes, locations of the old fallout shelters, with their stocks. I traded information for sustenance.
Barbara sends out 2 people as runners.
I'll tell you where there's a stash of the Army's freeze-dried food if you promise to bring me some.
Sure.
Just don't eat any of it until you come back here with some. The Army put poison in it in case it fell into the enemy's hands. Only I know how to neutralize it. I've had good luck using agents.
They return with 3 boxes.
Sprinkle a bit of this powder on the food before you eat it, and you won't get sick. It's just MSG. There is no poison. But if they knew that, they might not come back. I traded information for more information. I recruited operatives. I developed a network. Did you know that there are 3 dozen phone terminals with 2-year batteries all over Gotham? GEMCON, the Gotham Emergency Communication Network. 15 of them still work. And I just happen to have a tap right here. Another little wiring job I had done after the contagion crisis. Not so hard when you can hack into the phone company computer and write up a work order. Paranoia. It's a good thing. So my operatives go to the nearest phone and tell me what's going on. Information Central. I provide information, and I record it. I'm no longer simply Oracle. I'm also the Chronicler. There needs to be a record of these events. Whatever happens, whether this place survives or collapses, history will want to know the facts, the details, the stories.
Barbara keeps her journal in a notebook.
Sometimes I do it the old way, pen and paper, because here, paper is more durable than silicon. Feudalism is alive and well here, helped along by Jeremiah Arkham's decision to let all the criminals in his asylum back on the streets before he left town. The neighborhoods, sectors, controlled by gangs, tribes, tagged. Tagging is a big thing, and critical in no man's land. It's primal. All animals mark their territory. I'm making a map, color-coding the areas. It seems efficient. Of course, the colors keep shifting because the lords of the sectors keep changing.
The map shows the current layout of the turf. The ex-cops, the Blue Boys, are dug in at the city's south end in the Tri-Corner Yards. But the street gangs, the Low Boys, and the street demons hold the rest of southern Gotham right outside their door.
Blue is GCPD, Tri-Corner. That's where Dad is. I've sent him word that I'm okay. I hope he believes it. The street demons are operating here. They're too busy holding off the Low Boys to the south to have done much damage. The question is, for how long? Two-Face is operating out of the downtown courthouse. Killer Croc is a nomad, fighting whomever he finds. Black Mask and his false facers have taken over the fashion district. After playing such a major role in the troubles around the quake, the ventriloquist, with a patched-up Scarface, has an iron grip on Newtown. Ivy seems to have taken up in Robinson Park. That's just a rumor, since no one who's gone in has ever come out of the park. The Huntress is maintaining her brand of order in her East Side neighborhood. The Joker's whereabouts are currently unknown. Penguin is the only one who isn't insane. He's turned his sector into Casablanca, the ultimate black market, a haven for those who pay the price. He's got the goods and the hoods. Rumor is he's got some sort of pipeline for stuff from the outside. Is it by water? Underground? Haven't been able to find out. Obviously, in a world where a box of matches is more valuable than a camera and a bike is more useful than a Ferrari, an entrepreneur like Penguin is going to thrive. And the people, why did they stay? Some had no choice. The poor, the destitute, the illegal immigrants, the criminals. Some saw it as a great adventure, or as a unique opportunity.
A man nails up a sign reading "Private Property" on a building.
Others had their own take on reality.
Several people gather on a rooftop, holding signs reading, "Welcome Mothership. Your landing site is ready."
Mankind returns to their roots, hunters
A man retrieves a rodent from a trap.
and gatherers.
A girl searches the rubble and finds a can of food.
Shopping carts and backpacks have become highly valuable accessories. After all, you have to put what you hunt and gather somewhere. High tech gives way to low tech, and no tech.
A man sharpens spears meant for trading.
Automatic weapons are useless when there's no way to get ammo.
Another man is clubbed with the butt of a rifle.
The dwellers. Having space means having to protect that space.
A homeowner defends his door with a bow.
Go away. This is mine. I was here first and I control it.
What happens when you go to sleep? Who's gonna control it then?
Technology and civilization are reinvented to solve these sorts of problems.
He ties up tin cans as an alarm. A passing man with a cart notices him inside and calls to him.
You need protection, eh? Give me a roof over my head. I'll help you protect it.
They shake hands and become allies.
The weak turn to the strong for survival, and the tribes develop reasons why others can join them.
I'm a mechanic. I can fix things. Fix this bike and you can stay.
I'm a seamstress. I can sew.
The leader indicates his torn clothing.
She can stay.
Well, I'm a social worker. I help facilitate interaction in hostile social environments. I help people who don't get along with each other to communicate better.
Yeah, we need that.
The man's body is hung on the gang's fence to warn others away.
And what of Gotham's leading citizen, Bruce Wayne? After being humiliated and insulted before Congress, he disappeared.
The news headline reads, "Wayne fails to convince feds to aid Gotham."
Ironic that his properties were quake-proofed, but his home was not. The saying is true. The shoemaker's kids go barefoot. Did he give up? Did he leave Gotham?
Robin works alone.
He told me to get out and stay out. Haven't heard from him since.
While Nightwing pays a visit to Metropolis for a team-up with a super friend.
Said it was too dangerous to be there, as well as being against the law. That was 3 months ago.
3 months ago. That's about the last time I heard from him as well. He can't be gone. He can't be. Gotham needs a hero. Now, more than ever.
On the northern border of Tricorner, a gang of looters invade a family's home. As they knock out the father and threaten the children in an attempt to get stashed food, a dark shape appears high above the innocents who plead for mercy. Bach drops down on top of the gang's leader as Harvey and the other blue boys rush in. The gang surrenders without a fight. The ex-cops strip them of their clothes as punishment and send them out of Blue Boy's territory. They prepare defenses for the building and let the family know that they're in a protected area now. An ex-cop shows Gordon a homemade boomerang.
There you are, Commissioner Gordon. A perfect weapon. When you miss, it'll come right back to you.
Others string up barbed wire and place sharpened stakes to fortify their base.
Show me.
Outside, the man throws the boomerang in a high arc, and it sweeps back down to his hand.
Good. Teach everyone how to make 'em and throw 'em.
Sir, Bullock reports that the northern border is now secure, but he could use some more barbed wire.
We'll get him whatever he needs.
Sir, I've got something wonderful to show you. Up on the roof there.
This man shows Gordon a makeshift bat signal.
I used a low-voltage quartz bulb and some car batteries, all mounted on a steering mechanism that...
No!
Jim Gordon smashes it with his foot.
We don't need this, because he's not coming. Understand that, Wilson? He's not coming!
Yes, sir. I understand. Commissioner, how can you be so sure about that?
Because he'd have been here by now.
Maybe he hasn't shown up because we haven't called.
No, Montoya. He gave up on Gotham, like everybody else. He always took the easy way out. Being a vigilante was easier than being a cop.
Whatever. Isn't it a good idea to make people think he's around?
Why? Why raise false hope? We have to do this, and we have to do it without him. No more myths and legends. This time it's going to be the GCPD that puts the fear into criminals. We're taking back Gotham, and this has no place in my city.
Gordon storms off.
Why is he so ticked off about the bat? The bee. You don't even want to utter the name in his presence.
I thought they were friends.
The commissioner spent a few weeks on the outside looking for another city to be a cop in. But they all laughed at him. All because of the bee. They told him, we don't want a chief who needs a bogeyman to help fight crime. We want somebody who's good enough to do it himself.
None of those cretins would have lasted a week in Gotham.
You know it. I know it. Jim knows it. But it's about perception. We've always had more crime, more psychos, and more general weirdness than any other city. A den of iniquity. That's what Nicholas Scratch called this place.
You think he's really gone? The, bee man?
If he's not, I don't envy whoever has to break the news to my husband.
Jim's wife, Sarah, takes in the silence for a long moment on the lonely rooftop, pondering their situation.
I don't like being out at night anymore. It's too dark.
If you're scared, turn on your flashlight. Anyway, just around the corner, an old shoe store. I saw somebody moving boxes in today. We're gonna find out what's in them.
The two would-be thieves see a bat symbol spray painted on a wall with yellow paint.
Say it ain't so.
Can't be. Somebody's idea of a gag. A trick to scare us away.
Frankie, that ain't no trick.
High on a rooftop, they see the silhouette of the bat, and they flee as it swoops down to the street. The dark figure adds another bat symbol. No Law and a New Order. Part 2. Strategy. One of Oracle's runners rushes to a call box to bring her important news.
This is major. Squish is one of my operatives. He's been pretty reliable, not prone to exaggeration. So when he tells me what he saw, my heart skips a beat. You're sure it was a bat? Not a bat, the bat. Same one I used to see shining on the clouds, BQ. BQ, before Quake, and AQ, after. That's how you mark time in Gotham. But did you see him?
No, just the tag. But it's gotta be.
I want to believe it too, but it doesn't seem quite right. It doesn't seem like the way he'd do it. Until we know it's him, until we see him, it's just spray paint on a wall.
Nobody hardly saw him BQ. What's the chance of anybody seeing him now?
Have you heard anyone else saying they saw him? Anyone else at all?
No.
If he's really around, he'll want to be seen. So just keep your eyes open.
Yeah. Okay. Squish hangs up.
Spray paint. It just doesn't seem like the way he'd do it. But how would he do it in a world with no civilization, no rules, no law? In no man's land, there is no status quo. So all bets are off. Maybe he would use spray paint after all. Still, if it is him, why doesn't he call?
Interlude 1. The Punk and the Nomad. A punk with a gun stops a traveler headed for penguins and attempts to steal his batteries. The traveler is unafraid because he knows that if he had a bullet in that gun, that would be worth more than the batteries. The empty gun clicks, and the traveler goes on his way. Gordon is told that the Blue Boys have running water with just a bit of rust in it, and precisely that much is right with the world. Until news comes in that they've taken another block, and Jim goes down to place the tag himself at a small ceremony with his troops. Sarah points out that he used to arrest kids for that, and he promises that she can do the next one. Gordon gathers his forces before a city map to announce their next move.
Old Gotham. We take back HQ and everything in between. Damn right. We take back what's ours.
No, I say we should hold our position for a while. Shore up our territory, make sure we can defend what we have.
Defense? That's old-style cop talk. We're no longer a police force. We're an army. Offense. We need to show strength. Perception of power can be as important as power itself. Besides, the residents here will defend themselves if need be, because they want to. We're their best hope.
But HQ? I don't think we're strong enough to mount an attack like that.
Don't be so gutless, Foley.
The word is prudent, Petite. Something I'm proud to be, as opposed to suicidal. Something I'm definitely not. The low boys control old Gotham, and then we'll be right up against the street demons.
You presume we'd mount a frontal attack, go in and secure an area. Forget those kinds of tactics. We're going to start a war between low boys and the demons. Let them thin out their ranks. Then we move in.
I love it.
Commissioner, are you actually saying? Yes, I'm saying we incite people, bad people, degenerates, to kill each other. Yes, once upon a time that was illegal. But once upon a time we were part of the United States of America, living under its laws and its justice system. Now, we're not. There's no law. But we can still have order, if we impose it. And we will impose it, because it's our city, and we want to live in an ordered society. We're going to take back this city, because we think it's worth saving. That's why we stayed, right? Damn right. Any questions?
Ulterior motives, sir?
What's ulterior about taking back our own headquarters?
Your daughter lives near there, doesn't she?
Yes. Yes, I want to protect my daughter. It's not an ulterior motive. It's a human, fatherly motive. Anybody have a problem with that?
No one says a word.
All right, then. I want to be ready for action in 3 days.
Interlude 2. The Punk and the Little Kid. The punk holds up a kid with his gun, demanding the bicycle tubes he hoped to trade. A large man with a bow comes to his aid, though, and proposes safe passage to the Penguin in exchange for a 50-50 split. The boy agrees, and they travel on together. He asks the large man if he's going to take everything, but the man says he knows some helpful places only a small person could get into, and they become partners, at least for now.
Jim plants seeds in a rooftop garden. I wonder if we'll be around to reap what we sow. Sarah joins him, fresh out of the newly working shower.
I think this environment is bringing out the best in you, Jim. Strength, decisiveness, leadership.
Moral ambiguity?
Not moral ambiguity. You know the difference between right and wrong. Now, for the first time in your life, there's no politician or judge or special interest redefining what you know is right and wrong. You're working purely on instinct. And your instincts are good, James Gordon. They're excellent.
I hope they're enough.
They look up and see clothes on a line forming a familiar dark shape in the sky.
You're thinking about him, aren't you?
No, I think I'm becoming him. A law unto myself. I wonder how he became that way. Maybe he had everything taken away from him, too. Maybe he had to become who he became.
Why don't you say his name?
Because he doesn't exist anymore. He ran out on us. Took the easy way out. I only wish I knew why.
You were always on him for bending and breaking the law. Maybe the message got through. Maybe he left because it was the lawful thing to do.
Wouldn't that be the ultimate kick in the head?
Two young boys run down the street from a larger gang chasing them. As they crouch in fear against a wall, one of their attackers is taken out with a brick to the head.
Ah!
A dark shape flutters, and a kick snaps out from it to the chin of another thug. A third attacks the bat shape with a lead pipe, but the bat ducks it and knees the man in the crotch.
It's the Batman! Please, don't kill me, Batman! Please don't kill me!
A woman in a batsuit and full face mask warns them.
This area is under my protection. Understand?
You're a girl?
I'm the Bat, and I'm your worst nightmare.
The men prepare to attack her again.
You boys are slow learners.
She punches one of them and slams the other two's heads together.
Now get the hell out of here, and don't ever let me see you east of 9th Avenue again. Tell your friends.
The thugs run away.
Please, Don't hurt us. You can have our stuff. Just don't hurt us. Hurt you? Why? Did you commit a crime? No. We thought... Doesn't this symbol mean anything to you? Well, yeah. But you're a girl. We thought you were trying to trick us, making us believe you were the Batman to, like, get our coats. Yeah, everybody around here is out for themselves.
She points to her symbol on the wall.
This is the bat. In this town, it means criminals beware. So then, like, you work with Batman? How do you know I'm not Batman? You're a girl. If you were a big tough guy and you got beat up by a girl, would you admit it? Or would you say it was a huge giant, 7 feet tall, with wings and claws who took you down? Point. Tell your friends, as long as there are people in Gotham, there'll be a bat. All this time she was a girl. Do you believe that? I don't know, and I don't care. All I know is she saved our butts. I say the bat rules.
Interlude 3. The Punk and the Stranger. The punk with a gun tries to hold up a new target, a man with a chalk-white face and a purple coat.
What you got in the bag, man?
Oh, odds and ends, fun stuff, for sale, for trade.
Here's a trade. You're goods for your life. Fork 'em over.
If you insist. Okay.
The man pulls a barbecue fork from his sack and stabs the punk in the neck with it.
Spray him, boys.
Poison on the fork twists his corpse's face into a rictus grin. The Joker puts his tag on the wall.
I now declare this area incorporated into
Jokerville.
Gordon and Bach walk the streets of what was once Gotham's cultural center.
This used to be a nice place to live. Don't waste time thinking about what it was. It'll tear you apart.
A few men crowd a small fire outside the Gotham Public Library.
That tears me apart. Burning books to keep warm. That should be a punishable offense. Once we take over, we can make it a punishable offense. Burn a book, go to prison. Only one problem. We don't have a prison. Have you thought about that? Every day.
I wonder, was there ever a civilization that didn't have prisons?
Too bad we can't look up the answer in the library. Time to find what we're looking for.
They locate the street demon's tag on a wall.
Bingo.
Gordon crosses it out and paints the Lowboys tag next to it.
Tss. I wonder if this is enough to start a war. Sure, lots of gang turf wars got started just this way. That was before. Those kinds of wars were played out as knife fights or drive-bys. We're looking for something a lot more serious. Those turf wars before never got more serious because we never allowed them to escalate.
You guys sure ain't no low boys.
3 demons catch them in the act, armed with knives and clubs.
We don't care who you are. The penalty for trashing the demons is death.
No Law and a New Order. Part 3. Tactics. The gang members brandish their crude weapons.
The penalty for defacing the demon's gang tag is death.
Suddenly, gunshots ring out, and the thugs are all taken down.
Hope you don't mind that I didn't wait for your call, Commissioner. That I took a little initiative. Petite.
You've been following us all night.
Well, I just couldn't sleep, worrying that you two might turn out to be dead wrong about your tactics. Turning the gangs against each other by just using spray paint. Was I wrong, Commissioner?
Petite lines the bodies up underneath the Lowboys tag.
Now that's how to start a war. Of course, if the demons don't see what those evil, vicious Lowboys have done to their buddies, it's all in vain. But that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, demons, come out to play!
Petite's call echoes through the streets and soon summons more demons, who discover the grisly scene. As they argue over whether to attack or report back, Petite taunts them again with chicken noises, and they give chase. Gordon and his men lead the demons into Lowboy territory, and Jim throws a brick at them to get their attention as well. The Blue Boys hide high up on a fire escape as the two gangs square off.
You're gonna die, Lowboys. It's payback time.
Yeah, we're gonna splatter you demons across the wall.
Gentlemen, congratulations. We've just started a war.
Back at base, Jim lies in bed with Sarah.
I wish I could be sure I was doing the right thing.
When have you ever been sure? When that married cop was getting himself involved with a single detective, was he sure he was doing the right thing?
You know, I was never sure about us then. Petit is sure. I almost envy his simplistic black and white view of the world.
Maybe it's the right view for this world.
I don't want to admit it, but he hasn't been wrong yet. The question is, how far will we have to go?
How far are you prepared to go?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. How far will a father go to protect his daughter?
All the way. Yes, I'm prepared to go all the way.
Day 98 in No Man's Land. Chronicle of a war. No one knows who started it. We all just woke up one morning and it was on. The demons versus the low boys. The bad guys versus the bad guys. Here in demons territory, we wonder, is this a good thing or a bad thing? For those who prefer the devil we know over the devil we don't, it's a bad thing. Which devil do I prefer? I don't know. I'd like to think things can only get better. But it's Gotham after all. Or it was. And here we say, just when you think things can't get any worse, they do. My operatives report in, and one thing's for sure. It's bloody. Estimated casualties, 42 gangbangers. So far, no civilians have been hurt.
In the street outside Oracle's tower, the gang stages a display.
Demons rule! Another lowboy goes up in flames! Demons rule! Day 99. The war begins to take its toll. The demons are burning the bodies of their own dead, claiming they're lowboys. It's a show for the residents to convince us they're still in control. Rumor is the lowboys are doing the same thing in their neighborhood.
Over by Gotham Harbor, thugs attempt to force an innocent man out into the water from a blown bridge.
That's right. The Gotham River has mines in it. At least it's supposed to. We don't know for sure.
Our boss don't know for sure either, and our boss wants to find out, so he sent us to investigate.
And now we're sending you to do something useful.
Thing is, if there's no mines, you can escape. But if there is, and you blow one up, then there'll be one less mine to blow up the next guy we throw in. No matter what happens, it's useful.
The innocent man strikes one of the thugs in the neck.
What the hell?
Another grabs him, seeing that under his ragged coat and hat he is wearing a finely tailored suit. The thug shoves him over the edge of the bridge.
Ooh! The sign said danger. It was correct.
The thugs look up. Batman swings down from a high bridge support on a line, his cape flaring out behind him. What used to be a familiar sight in Gotham, only absent these past few months, is also a bit strange to see in broad daylight. Batman advances on a thug as he threatens Alfred, who is hanging from the broken bridge by his cloak.
Back off! I'll kill this guy!
He throws a batarang and knocks the gun from the man's hand.
Run away.
The thug pulls a knife.
Like hell! You're going down!
Batman disarms him and throws him to the ground in one single motion.
Hang on, Alfred.
A sensible course of action, sir. Batman smashes the window of a car door over the man's head, trapping his arms in the frame. Another goon throws a rock at Batman. He ducks it, and it hits the trapped man, knocking him into the water. He hits the water near a mine, and it explodes. The others have all run away. Batman helps Alfred up to safety.
Apology, Alfred. I cut that a little close.
Alfred examines his singed hat. Indeed. Is the homing transmitter defective, sir?
It worked fine. I didn't. I have to relearn how to get around in this town. Broken cornices, rubble, collapsed rooftops. It all slows me down. I hope Gotham isn't trying to tell me something.
I thought you'd worked past all that, sir.
I thought I had too.
The work, sir. It's about the work. There's much to do, and if not us, sir, then who?
Yes, who?
It's been too long since we've seen you in action, sir. You looked good. Did it feel good?
No, Alfred. It felt great. Result of tonight's recon?
Well, the river is mined. Batman opened the manhole cover with a hidden switch.
And their boss?
They never said.
I assume it's someone who either wants to get out of town or bring something in.
Or possibly bring someone in.
There is likely an additional way to gather intelligence, sir.
Alfred, you know that my approach this time is...
Sir, if I'm gathering information, that already compromises your single solitary crusader approach.
You're right, Alfred. I should at least check in.
The call came the next day, on the special frequency, his frequency, and there was the voice, his voice. No question about it.
I'm back. Just thought you'd like to know.
So, it was you, doing the tagging down in Dooley Square?
Dooley Square? No, haven't been there.
Then, who was it?
Connection terminated.
I hate it when he does that. Day 102. The police are poised, ready for action. They should be. They've waited days for this. It's time. He gives the order. Take the streets.
Gordon plays the role of field commander, standing high up with a bullhorn as the Blue Boys beat down gang members in the street, mostly with clubs and fists. There's a new gang on the street, the Blue Boys, GCPD. Attention, street demons, low boys, you're in our territory. Surrender now.
The gangbangers are weak and disorganized. They go down.
An ex-cop clubs a knife out of a thug's hand.
Quickly.
Sarah Gordon trips one with a chain from on a bicycle.
Easily.
Bach takes another down with a boomerang.
A minor skirmish and the police take back their headquarters. It's a great morale booster.
Sarah paints the Blue Boys tag on GCPD headquarters.
Finally, the residents are invited to join in.
Attention residents, we are the police. We're here to maintain order. Help us rid your streets of these gangsters.
They're thrilled to help with bricks, pots and pans, bare fists. It's grassroots community policing. Who knows? There may still be hope for Gotham. So here I sit, waiting to hear the one voice I want to hear more than anyone else's.
There's a knock on Oracle's door. Barbara?
Dad!
She opens it.
Dad!
There aren't many women who can say that a war was fought on their behalf. Father and daughter hug.
You're kidding. He's not. I guess it's true what they say. A father will do anything to protect his daughter.
Barbara paints the Blue Boys tag on her own building. Sir? Sorry to interrupt. The neighborhood has been secured. So I see. Well done, Bach. Well done. The question is raised of what to do with the defeated gang members. We tell them to get out of our territory. Let them be somebody else's problem.
That means it'll just be our problem again later on.
Maybe not.
Peaceful coexistence across an artificial border? We're cops. They're criminals. It'll never happen. Look at Bosnia. Look at the Middle East.
If we push them out of here, somebody else may solve the problem for us. Exactly.
Somebody else? You gotta slay me. You'd never kill a cow, but you'd eat a T-bone steak. It's all the same.
It's not all the same. If steak wasn't on the menu, I'd eat something else.
The cows are killed because people like you like to eat steaks.
Enough. I'm in charge, and I say we kick him out of here, under penalty of death.
And you're prepared to enforce it, sir?
Yes.
Good answer.
Members of the street demons and lowboys, you have 1 hour to get out of our territory. If any of you are found here after that, the penalty is death.
And just to show you we're not fooling around,
Petite shoots one of the demons in the head.
Now get out of here.
They all flee rapidly.
Damn it, Petite. That was out of line. Way out of line. We're still police, and we will act like police. And that means we will not resort to death squad tactics. Is that understood? Yes, sir. I was just taking a little more initiative, sir, so that they know we're prepared to enforce your death penalty. Now they'll run all over town. Tell everybody that the cops have gone crazy, shooting people down in the streets. Maybe they actually won't come back. You want to tell me I'm wrong, Commissioner? Go ahead and look me in the eye and tell me I'm wrong.
Gordon and Petite stare each other down.
You guys enjoy your steaks.
Dooley Square.
Don't ever come back here or face the wrath of the bat. I'm gone.
After she runs off the thug, Batman accosts the new Batgirl.
Nice costume.
Didn't think you'd approve.
I don't.
You haven't been around, and Gotham needed a bat.
My previous whereabouts and my reasons are my own.
Whatever. You're gonna need help.
No.
Yes. You just don't know it yet.
I sent my other partners away. Too dangerous. I didn't want the responsibility for what might happen to them, for what they might become.
Of course, a city without law offers certain behavioral temptations, but I've already been doing this for weeks in your absence, and I intend to keep doing it, so you have no issue of responsibility with me.
And the costume?
I don't have to wear it, but it's a powerful image. Primal. Mythical. Works very well. Still, if you tell me to take it off, I will.
The tagging. It's a good idea. I intend to use it.
Thanks.
You all right about one thing. The city does need a bat.
Maybe more than one.
Just don't disgrace the symbol.
Then, I'm approved?
No, but you're not disapproved.
That's good enough. For now.
No Law and a New Order. Part 4. Language. Batman has set up shop in the sewers of Gotham.
Are you sure, sir? Are you sure this is the right approach?
I'm back to basics, Alfred. The image of the bat. I chose it years ago because of its power to strike fear into criminals. Now the image needs to be seen. The people need to know I'm here.
But in spray paint? Via acts of common vandalism?
This is the new language of Gotham. If I don't speak it, the message won't be understood.
I miss mass communication.
For the first time in history, Gotham is safe at night. No one goes out, not even the criminals. It's too dark, hard to see. Turning on a flashlight is an invitation for someone to steal that flashlight. Easier to scavenge and operate in daylight. It's warmer, too. And so, no one sees me. No one bothers me. And my night vision lenses make the task relatively simple. Batman spray paints bat symbols on the walls of his area. The quiet is strange. No traffic, no trains, no electrical hum. The smells of smog and exhaust have been replaced by the pungent odor of garbage and human waste. It will take a monsoon to wash away those smells. Gotham is a different world now, with a different pulse, a different language. Language. The words of my childhood French teacher come back to me.
You can study a language in school for years, but until you live in a place where the language lives, you can never truly understand it.
The Blue Boys show Gordon a bat symbol tag outside of their turf. I realize it's beyond our perimeter, but I thought you should see it. What were you doing way out here, Ramirez? Recon scouting. What does it mean, Commissioner? I'll tell you what it means. Nothing. If he's really here, he wouldn't announce himself like this. Tagging. It's not his style. It's not our style either, but we do it. Probably just some joker. Excuse me, bad word. Jokester. But I want to find out who. Sir, whoever it was hasn't violated our territory. You're right, Bach. It's not our concern until it's on our turf. So we leave it? No. Paint over it. It might give someone the wrong idea. That he's actually here. That this street is safe. It's not him. It's not his style. Scarface and his gang come across another bat symbol tag, but they handle it a bit differently, shooting a man and leaving his dead body by their own replacement tag. Scarface tells everyone that he has the bullets, so he is in charge, and his lieutenant Rhino sets the people to work scavenging, with a bonus for anyone who brings the Scarface puppet a zesty cola, his favorite. Batman comes across his painted-over tag, and Scarface's message. I've been away too long. There's no respect, no fear. But why should I be surprised? Myths lose their power if they aren't repeated. Batman follows the Scarface tags, and if they don't see me, they won't talk about me. He sneaks into a building's second-floor window. In the dead quiet, the sound of the window opening seems deafening. Shh, I'm the Batman. I'm on your side. Tell me where Scarface sleeps.
No, Scarface protects us. You're bad. Go away. Outsiders are bad!
No, I'm here to help. I can end the terror.
Get out! Go away!
Freeze!
Batman is caught by a guard's flashlight.
You're dead! The sudden light is blinding. I make myself a moving target.
The guard fires a shot as Batman dives out the window.
I can't believe he didn't take another shot at me. Maybe there's some fear after all. Weeks of recon, Alfred, and we missed it.
Yes, we learned where our enemies are. We learned the boundaries, got a sense of logistics. But we assumed the people were still the same. They're not. They're conquered people.
All they know is what the ventriloquist tells them. All outsiders are bad, and they're in a safe haven. No TV, no radio, no phones. Ventriloquist is their only source of information. 6 square blocks, and it's like being in another world.
Perhaps those 6 blocks are an anomaly, sir.
I'm going to take him down, Alfred. I have to.
Maybe you should ask for help. Your former partners? Perhaps even the former Commissioner Gordon. The image of a policeman might be more appropriate than the image of the Bat.
No, I have to do this myself. Gotham is my city, my responsibility. I took an oath to protect it. Bruce Wayne couldn't save it, so Batman must. If the myth of the Bat has been neglected, it's my fault. I have to recreate it, rebuild it, from the ground up. I scared him off, boss. You should have seen him run. He ain't coming back.
Good work. You get a cigar for that. Rhino, give him a cigar and a reload. Just remember, don't ever say that name. If we don't say his name, he don't exist.
What do you have on the ventriloquist?
Controls Newtown. He's got guns and ammo, and a sweet tooth for zesty cola. Very hard to get.
I know all that. Tell me more.
I can't.
Can't? That word has never been in your vocabulary.
It is now. Increasingly so. I can't hack his computers because he doesn't have computers. I can't tap his phones because there are no phones. I can't even get second or third-hand information because the guns keep everyone away. I'm a high-tech girl in a low-tech world. Sorry.
She made me realize how dependent I had become on technology. I'd gotten so used to databanks and quick answers that it took me a moment to remember that my finest, most reliable computer was right here with me, my brain. To use it, all I had to do was think. Think. Ventriloquist is of a small stature with a gang of armed thugs who outnumber him. How does he keep them in line? How does he ensure their loyalty? He controls something they want, or something they need, or something they're afraid of. Of course, he controls the bullets. The costume's a liability, yet without it, there is no Bat. Compromise. Take it off, until it's time for the maximum effect.
Bruce Wayne goes undercover in street clothes and trades a zesty cola for a lighter. He also learns how Rhino sends out the work crews to scavenge in the rubble, and how each gang member is only given 1 bullet at a time. Along with the soda, he sends a letter to Scarface about a further trade. Scarface reads the note. Bruce offers to trade 1,000 rounds of ammunition in it, and Scarface is very interested. A messenger is sent to meet with Bruce to bring him back to the lair to talk. Bruce is shown a vast array of supplies by the puppet and the ventriloquist.
Bring me a case of ammo. You can take out of here whatever you can carry in your 2 arms.
No, I won't make the trade in your territory. That's an invitation to get shot.
I'm listening.
Tomorrow, noon, Addison Street subway station. Bring 24 flashlights and batteries. Big, bright ones. The case of ammo will be there. Leave the lights, take the ammo. I'll be hidden with a rifle. You try anything, I'll shoot.
How do we know this ain't some sort of double cross?
If you're worried, don't show up. I can deal the ammo to the Black Mask gang. They're close to your southern border, right?
Okay, noon tomorrow. Addison subway station. I'll be there.
Are you sure the ventriloquist will go himself?
He'll be there. He'd never trust his men alone with that much ammunition.
Scarface and his men find the ammo crate where it was promised.
Open it.
The box explodes with white light and a loud bang, along with gas. The
The magnesium flare blinds them, and the tear gas makes them choke. Advantage, mine.
Batman rushes into the gas and elbows a thug. He smashes 2 more goons' heads together. Batman flips another onto the ground.
Ow, I am.
He takes out a gun-wielding thug and another beside him with a punch and a kick in one movement. Leaving only the ventriloquist. Tie them up.
Say my name.
Batman! Batman takes Scarface from the ventriloquist.
Say it correctly.
No, give him back. You'll hurt him.
Say my name.
Batman!
Louder.
Batman!
Who's in charge now?
Batman! Batman's in charge!
Hands behind your back.
Okay. Just please don't hurt Scarface. Batman cuffs the ventriloquist to a support girder. What's gonna happen to us?
You'll live.
Wait, Scarface! Don't take Scarface away! Sir, have you made the necessary arrangements for their disposal?
Not yet. First I want to finish the job. Make sure there's a story to tell. Recreate the myth.
Batman hands Alfred a shotgun.
Keep an eye on them. I won't be long. It's something new for me, going out in the day, in costume.
Batman calls to the residents of Scarface's turf with a bullhorn.
Now hear this. Scarface is finished. This is now territory of the Batman. You men with the rifles, your friends aren't coming back. Surrender or face my wrath.
Stuff that! A bullet clips the Scarface puppet.
The first one's a bad shot. That doesn't make for a good story. I hope the others are better.
A sniper shoots Batman in the back, and he falls down. He soon gets back up, perfectly fine.
Huh?
Batman runs down the street as more Scarface goons shoot at him. He is knocked down again, but once again quickly rises.
He can't be killed.
He ain't human!
My most dangerous hunch proved correct. No one had armor-piercing shells. Had I been wrong, I'd be dead. But it was only logical that the ventriloquist would not have given one man more firepower than another.
The thugs run for it.
No! I don't make a move to stop them. I know they'll leave the neighborhood and spread the story. The Batman is back. He's angry, and he can't be killed.
The people come out of their homes and crowd around the hero. Lord Batman, what do you want us to do now? Yes, tell us what to do.
I don't care what you do. You're free. Free to do as you choose.
Batman tosses the Scarface puppet away. But who will give us our rations?
You don't need anyone to give you rations. You can keep whatever you find now. All of it.
The people kneel at Batman's feet. No, we have to give it to you as tribute, and then you give us what we need. That's how it works.
I don't need tribute. I don't want any. Don't you understand? I got rid of your oppressors, the bad men.
But they weren't bad men. They protected us, took care of us.
And Rhino's not a bad man. He made sure no one got more than anyone else.
Please, tell us what to do.
Now I realize who these people are. The destitute, former welfare recipients, the intellectually challenged, the unmotivated. The people with common sense would never have tolerated Scarface's regime. They left this neighborhood weeks ago.
Rhino stands up.
It ain't about good guys and bad guys anymore, Batman. It's just about survival. Maybe Rhino's right. Maybe traditional good guys and bad guys aren't part of the language. Whatever you were told to do this morning, keep doing it. I'll be back, Rhino.
Batman returns to Scarface's thugs, tied up earlier by Alfred.
You have a choice. You can work for me, or you can go with him.
Where's he going?
Hell.
But you said... Batman backhands the ventriloquist.
Shut up. Who's in charge?
You are. But Batman's in charge.
And again.
Ah, stop! You are.
That's right. I'm in charge. And don't ever forget it. Cut him loose.
Sir?
Do it. The men all get up. Anybody want to try to take me down? Now's your chance.
No, sir. You're the boss.
Batman addresses his new followers outside. You all work for me now, and these are my orders. It's just like before. Rhino, you tell the people what to do and provide their rations. Real food, not dog food. You give each lieutenant a weapon, but no guns. Lieutenants, you provide the protection and collect the tribute. I get first choice of goods and supplies. You get first choice of food and drink. So already you're doing better with me as your boss. You'll never know where or when I'll show up, but I'll be around. So don't mess up, or I'll take you out.
Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir.
The men head out to perform their tasks. Order, rules, structure. Without them, a civilized society cannot exist. Freedom deteriorates into anarchy.
Tribute, sir? Like a pirate? Like a despot?
It's a sign of respect, Alfred. It's the language, and one cannot succeed unless one is fluent in the language.
Are you fluent enough to succeed, sir?
Not yet, but I intend to be. Batman sprays his tag on the wall. Tributes are soon left before it. End. Jean-Paul Valley has been out of touch with Batman since the end of Night's End. He was last seen by Nightwing in Prologue, recovering at a mission and helping people as himself, rebuilding his identity since being Batman broke him. Now he is Azrael. He has tried to redeem his father's name and image, and in this event he returns to Batman's service and is truly forgiven. In this issue he is also given a new costume to reflect this change, and his book is now subtitled Agent of the Bat, and his old costume is destroyed as well as being publicly disgraced, as that version of Azrael is framed for murder by Nicholas Scratch. I'm telling you all this now because Azrael has a subplot I have largely removed from the event as it is largely unconnected to the main plot, but it is happening in the background. Azrael's main target is Nicholas Scratch, the man who helped cause the No Man's Land to begin with his fiery political rhetoric. Resurrection.
You want my help?
Not want, Jean-Paul. Need. Someone has to deal with Nicholas Scratch. I've got my hands full here in Gotham.
Why? I mean, why Scratch? He's got what he wants. Gotham City is off limits to the rest of the country.
And I'll spend all my resources and myself to win the city back.
I know. So why worry about Scratch?
Because I'm afraid he'll undo whatever we manage to accomplish, unless he's stopped. That's your job. You can't wear your Azrael outfit, not since Scratch framed you for the murder of Senator Hallivan.
But I've got to. Without it, I'm just plain Jean-Paul Valley. No match for a really tough Petunia, much less Scratch. My friend Brian explained it to me. Sort of. It has to do with my childhood conditioning. The suit triggers my special abilities. What's this?
Another costume. Different design. One that won't be associated with Hallivan's killing. Harold ran it up.
Gee, I don't know. Will it work? A different costume.
It might.
How do I find Scratch?
Somehow.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Lightning crashes dramatically behind Azrael as he dons his new costume and prepares for his new role in and out of the no man's land Gotham has become. Hello, Azrael. The most recent map of Gotham shows the progress the Blue Boys have made, and Batman working on the other end of the city. Though they are not working together, as they are not on speaking terms, Batman is moving to be as effective as he can in relation to Gordon's efforts, forming a classic pincer movement on the entire city. Batgirl has been a great help in this regard, taking some of Black Mask's territory, as well as helping wipe out a few smaller street gangs. And the Huntress convinced the Scarecrow that his brand of fear has no power in no man's land. Bread and Circuses, Part 1. Batman jumps down from a rooftop into a gang of armed thugs in the process of painting over one of his bat symbol tags. It's not working. He lands in their midst, startling them. I was away too long, preparing. They've fallen so far, so fast. I should have known.
Get him! Kill him! No one crashes Red Devil turf, but it's him! The Bat! So, that was then. This is now. He's history.
One of the men attacks Batman with a spear, catching only his cape.
A month in this no man's land is a lifetime. 3 months, an eternity. They've forgotten respect. Forgotten the fear.
Batman grabs the spear and slams the man into a wall with it. Batman uses the spear to block an arrow.
Gotham has become feudal, tribal, a wasteland of petty baronies and fiefdoms. This is Gotham's dark age.
Batman charges the crossbow punk with it. He plants the spear and vaults over the thugs, dodging a crossbow bolt which takes out the hatchet-wielding thug behind him.
The old terrors of darkness and the night have been reborn, tugging on ancient, primal memories. It goes without saying that I exploit them at every turn.
Batman swings around the spear, kicking both of the thugs.
But there's a catch. Isn't there always? Phones, televisions, computers, they belong to the technological world outside. Here news travels by word of mouth. Whispers, rumors, gossip. It's all too slow for me.
Batman breaks the spear in half. He grabs one of the punks by the hair.
You, here.
He shoves a spray can into the punk's beaten face.
Put it back.
He paints the bat emblem over his gang's tag.
I need to spread the word. Let all of Gotham know I'm back for good. Problem is, how to communicate with such a widespread, disparate population. I don't know where to begin.
Batman releases him, and they all run away.
Fortunately, I know someone who might.
The Blue Boys fight an open war with the Zosha street gang, who have built armor from the wreckage somewhat resembling that of barbarian tribes, and who fight with bows and arrows. Harvey Bullock appears to take an arrow in the gut.
Harvey!
But it only snagged his coat.
Guess I'm half the man they thought I was.
He slimmed down considerably since No Man's Land began. James Gordon and his frontline troops barely make a retreat when their vanguard arrives with guns.
What happened, Jim? What went wrong?
Everything. Every damn thing.
I mean, what was he thinking? Okay, so we got lucky playing the low boys off against the demons, but doesn't he imagine those animals ever talk to each other? It's obvious the wreckers and Zosha knew they were coming. We keep pushing, taking back the city block by block, but we just don't have the numbers. There'll come a point where we're stretched too thin. Then some mongrel and his pack will walk right in and take over the whole deal. Like I said before, we should dig in, defend what we have. This hellhole is not worth dying for.
Gordon enters the HQ carrying a body, with the others walking grimly behind him. He passes through to the infirmary in the back.
Foley, you so much as open your mouth again tonight, and I'll tell you a whole new anatomy. Understand?
Uh-huh.
He's wrong, Sarah. Wrong.
I know he is. Foley's a good man, Jim. He's just sounding off. It's his way of dealing with it all, with being stuck in Gotham. He tried to get out on Black Monday, you know. Anyway, we're all under a lot of pressure. Some more than others.
I know. And I know deep inside what we're doing is right and just. But, so help me God, after tonight, there's a small part of me that can't help but agree with him.
Arrowheads for candy, blankets for bicycle tires, dog pelts for salt, pigeons for toothpaste. The Penguin sits at the center of his protected marketplace, surrounded by lit tables crowded with traders. At one time they might have been lit stages for dancers, but now they serve an entirely different kind of commerce. Beyond them all, the walls are covered with fine art, no doubt traded to the Penguin for life's basic needs.
Something to trade? Something you desire? Sooner or later everyone makes their way to penguins. I have wrought profit from lawlessness, commerce from chaos, all for a mere 10% of the gross. While the apocalypse wails beyond, the torch of civilization still burns brightly here within Gotham's new heart. And all thanks to me. I play no favorites, permit no arms or animosity. All are equal beneath my roof, providing they are in credit.
First live, rest of dead. What are you pulling here? You trying to scam us? No, man. It's a mistake. We brought the wrong stuff is all. We'll go get it, you know.
A henchman pulls a gun on the fraudulent traders who had hoped a few good batteries would be tested and allow them to trade a lot of bad ones. They plead with the Penguin that they were starving and desperate, and in his mercy he allows them a chance to survive rather than be killed outright for violating the rules.
You tried to cheat me. By rights, I should kill you both. But I have a soft spot for lovebirds. Tonight is charity night when I entertain the poor and needy. Or rather, they entertain us. You, my ragged knight, will join them. If love conquers all, you'll both want for nothing. If not, well, that's another story. Take them away.
The two are led away by henchmen as a man in a turban slips away and pulls out a cell phone.
Oracle, it's Raheem. It's on. Rest in peace, son. Your duty's done.
Jim Gordon pulls a sheet over his dead soldier's head when a voice speaks to him from the shadows.
Working the graveyard shift, Commissioner. What? Who's there?
Jim pulls his gun.
Surely you recognize me.
How did you?
Get in here? Simple. Your men are tired, terrified, and too few. Tonight's debacle didn't help either. Hence my visit. I believe we can help each other out.
Forget it. You're psychotic.
One man's psychopath is another's visionary. Besides, what kind of man lets his wife and crippled daughter remain here? Anyone with half a brain quit while they could. All that's left are slime, losers, and degenerates. People you wouldn't have thought twice about rousting before. You have no legal jurisdiction anymore. So why stay?
Because there has to be order. There has to be law.
Yes, justice must prevail above all. We are two of a kind, Commissioner. Anarchy has forged strange allies here. Why not us?
Because you're a killer.
Really? Then the joke's on you. How clean are your hands? I heard about your stunt with the lowboys and demons. Pretty dirty and underhanded. I liked it.
This is war. Desperate times require desperate measures.
Justify it how you like. You've got nothing to lose by simply listening.
Jim puts his gun away.
Okay, talk. Try anything, though. I'll drop you where you stand.
You're safe enough. For now.
The darkness swallows Jim Gordon whole.
Oracle, it's me. I need some information.
So nice to hear from you again. I'll do what I can, but you know I'm mostly a low-tech girl these days. What are you after?
Anything on where people congregate, to worship, trade, and the like. I need crowds.
An audience, you mean? News just crawls around here, doesn't it? You want everyone to know you're back. Big time.
Can it be done?
It just so happens that I've heard a certain bird of our acquaintance is throwing one of his occasional soirees. It's a real tie and tails affair. Fancy crashing it?
I'm already there.
Batman surveils the crowd outside the Davenport Center as he confers with Batgirl.
Zoshas, Red Devils, Wreckers, Street Demons, gangs and foragers from across Gotham, all playing nice as if they're at the country club. What's Penguin doing in there?
Only one way we'll find out.
There is no we. I'm going in alone.
But
It is not open to discussion. This is my call, my risk. If I don't make it, Gotham's yours.
He leaps out the window.
gee, thanks.
The Penguin introduces his show in a spotlight on a large stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, welcome to the new Iceberg Lounge. Tonight, for your gaming and gambling edification, these destitute souls have volunteered to risk all, pit their very lives to win a cornucopia of comestibles, and a guaranteed position in my employ as a member of my esteemed staff. But I hear you ask, what must they do to earn this lavish bounty?
Dozer, dozer, dozer.
Yes, indeed. He's rough, tough, buff, and hairy. He's his mother's favorite son. The one, the only, Dozer. A large muscle man comes out on stage, dressed like a wrestler. After 12 rounds with the muscle machine, one way or another, your troubles will be over.
I changed my mind. I don't want to do this.
What makes you think you got a choice, puppy? And the first lucky contestant is... The Penguin hooks the unscrupulous traitor with his umbrella.
Jared Kern.
Jared Kern, ladies and gentlemen. He's young, wiry, fast, and mean. A sneaky mover, I guarantee it. Will he be the one to bring Dozer down? Place your bets now.
10 jars of moonshine on the boy.
6 dog steaks on Dozer in the third.
Breaks the kid's back in the second.
Hunting knives on Dozer. All bets are off. Who dares? Ah, it's you. I should have known. I heard you were around. Batman announces himself from the rafters. There's a new game in town, Penguin. It's just you and me. Bread and Circuses. Conclusion. Batman leaps to the stage. I'm back. It's time to make my mark. Give them something that'll keep them talking for a long time. Now hear this. This is my city. My law. After all, there's no such thing as bad publicity. You threaten either, you answer to me. That got their attention. Ha ha ha. Surely you jest. Let's see what I can do about keeping it. You're mistaking me for someone else. Batman socks Penguin in the face.
Arr! Ooh, that's kinda smart.
Maybe we should do something?
Nah, dude, it's a bat. We're in for a show. I want to see how this scopes. My nose! You broke my nose!
Batman lifts Penguin by his collar. I'm just getting warmed up. Call them off.
I'm okay. Back it up. Back it up.
Things are different now, hero. There's a new pecking order. You're not getting out of here alive, you know. That depends on you, Oswald. On how eager you are to do business.
Business?
A wager. You, me. I'll go up against your pit bull. I win, you abandon these bouts permanently. Give these people food in exchange for work. You win, you get to be the bird who killed the bat. Public-spirited as ever, eh? Well, forget it. I'm not stupid. This is a trick. We both know you can take Dozer. However, Penguin motions to his assembled henchmen. Can you take all of them? Good question. Do I have a choice? He's sharp. He maneuvered me into a corner I can't back out of. No wonder he survived so well in Gotham City. In no man's land. I can't afford to underestimate him again. This place is a lifeline in Gotham's new social order. Neutral trading ground for gangs and scavengers citywide. News of my return will spread like wildfire from this place. Well, like I said, do I have a choice? Yes. Gordon rallies the Blue Boys for another attack on the Zosha and Wrecker gangs. He says if they don't act, they'll lose respect, and that's even more dangerous. Despite the fact that they're outnumbered 3-1, Gordon tells them to have faith, just as the word comes in that something big is going on.
Something really big.
Batman blocks a kick from Dozer. He's good, fast, and another. Military training, Green Beret. He counters with a jump kick of his own. It's not enough, and Dozer goes down.
Dozer's eating dirt.
Forget him, he's cannon fodder. It's them I'm interested in. I've got them where I want them, eating out of the palm of my hand. Look at them, Leonard. They're lapping it up. This is what the people want. Bread and circuses. Feed them, appease their sordid appetites, and their hearts and minds will follow. That man is handing me Gotham on a plate.
What are you doing, Batman? You've done it now. My sources report the streets are buzzing. Almost every gang, tribe, and posse are on their way to Penguins. Watch your back.
Batgirl watches the crowd swell around the fallen-over Davenport Tower, now serving as Penguin's meeting hall.
The bugs and vermin sure are crawling out of the woodwork tonight. I have a bad feeling about this.
The Blue Boys venture into their enemy's turf, only to find both gangs decimated, their bodies lying everywhere.
What the hell happened here?
War. They lost. No, they were exterminated.
Commissioner, this is our tag, and it's fresh. That can't be right, right?
No, it can't, can it? Batman squirms in the grip of a huge woman. Does it hurt? Poor baby. Be over soon. Gotham has become an anthropologist's dream. A living, breathing testbed of Darwinian theory. He headbutts her, and her arms loosen. Survival of the fittest. And then some. Batman knocks her out with a palm strike to her chin. Batman takes down every adversary sent his way. It's going to be a long night. I count the hours in blows. I have to show them. Show them the law has come to reclaim Gotham. The night becomes a blur of limbs being broken and bodies hitting the ground. Gotham is mine.
Send in another one. Razor Eddie, I think. He's always been a crowd pleaser.
Yes, boss.
The last vestige of the old order is out there dying on his feet for my entertainment. This is my time. While the pros grub and war in the filth, I have feathered my nest with pillaged ridges and antiquities traded for the barest of necessities. Soon even these scant resources will be gone. Then predator will prey on predator. The darkest days are yet to come, but not before I have flown the coop and seen the flying rat dead at my feet.
Razor Eddie takes the stage, wearing gauntlet blades and green armor, looking like nothing so much as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villain. Jim Gordon reckons with himself in the bathroom of the GCPD HQ.
Good Lord, how could I have let this happen? Because I was naive. Me, of all people, I thought I could do the wrong thing, but for the right reasons, and not pay the consequences. But then, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I made a deal with the devil. I represent the law. I'm the good guy. But all I see is him.
His face in the mirror appears to be split in two.
Got a minute, Jim?
Sure, I'm coming. What's the occasion? Holidays coming early?
At least a dozen gangs are falling into line. They think we took out the Zosha and Wreckers. Want to negotiate about putting themselves under our protection.
You're kidding.
Nope.
It's working, Sarah. We're going to take back our city, our home.
Whoever cleaned the Zosha and Wreckers and credited us did us a favor. We owe them.
Sir, this was left for you at the gate. Jim opens the note, which reads,
Justice has been served. They were the first of many.
On stage, Batman defeats yet another opponent. Boss, we got something of a situation here.
What kind of situation?
Well, I checked and tallied all the figures, and you're right. All the new faces pouring in are betting through the roof. We're bringing in a fortune.
Pulverize him, Eugene. That's the ticket. You were saying?
Boss, the tables are turning. Odds on the Bat losing are getting short. They're staking on him to win now, not us. He wins, you lose everything. No more. There ain't enough to pay him all off. Penguin leaps to his feet in alarm.
What?
He blusters onto the stage.
That's it up. Unhand him, you cur. I am calling an end to this charade. Gentle patrons, I have some distressing news. The Batman, Gotham's so-called Dark Knight, is nothing but a rotten cheat.
What's he talking about?
This I gotta hear. As my regular customers know, these bouts are death matches. But has he killed, babe, mutilated anyone? No. He has cheated you of your entertainment. It therefore pains me to declare the contest void. All bets are off. Less the house's 10%, of course.
Say what? He joking? He ain't the Joker, is he?
Nah, man, he's a dead bird. And I'm gonna cut me a wig.
Ain't we all?
The angry crowd rushes the Penguin on the stage.
Leonard! Leonard!
Penguin backs up into Batman.
He's gone. They all have. The birds have flown the coop. It's just you, me, and them. You had this planned all along, didn't you? Something like it. So what do you want?
Information. Whoever, whatever passes through here, I want to know about it. Dates, times, details. It's business as usual, except you remember who's really in charge here. Well?
Deal, damn you.
Don't mess with us. Fat Boy's ours. He owes us.
You'll get your goods back, and that's all. No one touches him.
Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Batman grins. The crowd stops. Then they lower their weapons and begin to leave.
Forget it. He ain't worth the grief.
He's just one man. Sad man. Can't do nothing. This is our town now. And he ain't got no power here no more.
You'll be back. Oh yes, soon as you need something. And I'll make you pay through the nose. Now, Batman, if we're going to be partners, I need to...
He left.
I know that. What are you waiting for? You want to eat? Get to work.
Batgirl sees the crowds dispersing.
Oh no, no. I don't like the look of this. I don't like it one. Oh!
Batman appears in the window. What's not to like? The end. Balance. Once upon a time, there was a noble knight. Batman tears through a mob of thugs, sending their weapons flying. Who fought always for the people of his land. They pile on top of him. He bursts free and the pile is scattered. And the knight had a squire who served him faithfully, and more often than not, without question. Alfred is telling stories to a group of children in Leslie Tompkins' medical area.
So this squire, he was what, a total dork? Scott?
Keep it up, Scotty, and Alfred won't finish his story.
Well, there's a big loss. You believe this geezer?
If you wish to win the young lady's affections, lad, Alfred honks the boy's nose.
Hey, cut it! Ow!
He produces a bouquet of greens as a magic trick. Start with flowers. For you, my dear.
That's so cool!
And then I'd recommend cultivating the fine art of listening. Now, where was I?
The squire and the knight.
Ah, yes. I recollect it now. The squire served the knight, and their relationship was a partnership of sorts. The squire was proud of his duty, his position, proud of his knight. Alfred proudly served in Wayne Manor. Then a cataclysm befell the kingdom. The knight's castle was destroyed, until the manor fell into the earth. And great evil fell upon the land. The lunatics fled the shattered Arkham Asylum into Gotham. The people needed the knight more than ever before, and Gotham's ex-citizens were left to suffer. But the knight, aching at the loss of his kingdom, retreated to tend the wounds of his soul. The shattered bat signal remains dark, and he was nowhere to be found.
Not much of a knight then. More like a loser. Scotty, I warned you. This is totally bent. This knight guy, he's just like everybody else. Just another twink who gave up on Gotham.
Not like everyone else. He was a knight.
Did he come back?
Did the knight come back? Who cares?
Well, obviously you do, lad. Many asked the same question. They wondered where the knight had gone, why he had forsaken his land. What they could not know, what even the knight himself did not know, was that he could never leave the land behind. But it would take the knight time to realize this. Jason Todd's costume lies beside its broken case. Here, then, our story must follow the squire. That the knight would return, the squire had no doubt, but he was unsure what to do with his liege gone. Alfred strikes out on his own in a heavy coat and backpack. He was unsure what to be without the knight to lead, yet he knew he had to act, to be ready for the day when the knight would return.
But, I mean, he was just a squire, right? He couldn't fight or anything like that, right?
Oh no, my dear. The squire had many talents. He knew a thing or two about self-defense. A veteran at using his brain rather than his brawn. Alfred saves a woman from a man with a knife by slamming a trash can lid into his face as he runs by. He was an accomplished medic. He bandages her cut arm.
Thank you so much.
Not at all, milady. She brings Alfred back to her group.
I have a treat for everyone.
And an actor, the likes of whom had been rarely seen on stage or screen. They reward him with a coat. You're too kind. Thank you. In fact, it is safe to say that the squire was quite the excellent spy.
What kind of lame story is this? Didn't the squire do anything?
Many things, but I suspect they do not interest you, young man. That he helped a young woman bring 2 new lives into the world, for instance. Alfred makes good use of his medical training, or that he gave dozens of people opportunities for laughter and joy, and his time on the stage. No, these things bore you. You'd much rather hear about how he fought in his knight's stead, wouldn't you?
That'd be something at least.
He tried. He did try. Alfred spies on a group of bound slaves being whipped as they are transported across no man's land by 2 goons. The moment the squire saw them, he knew he had to do something. In the past, he would have left this sort of thing to the knight. He climbs down a fire escape. But he could not sit idly by. In lieu of a sword, Alfred unsheathes an extending club. The squire's stomach was in his throat. His hands were trembling. He had never been this afraid on the stage. He waits in an alley as the group passes by. Of the many things he knew how to do, this was not one.
Come on, lift those legs and you'll get another.
Alfred whacked the thug in the rear on the head, knocking him out.
Gobble.
The larger goon in front ties up the string of victims.
Nobody goes nowhere. Get it?
He readies a huge knife and heads to the back.
Somebody wants to get cut.
The brute wasn't the sharpest stick in the bundle, if you get my drift. The large man attacks, but all he finds is a stack of boxes where Alfred was.
Cut, skull, slice.
Dim, to say the least.
Well, huh? Where? How?
Alfred unties the group, but he is caught in the act.
You! Gonna cut you!
The people were still bound. The squire could not abandon them. Run! Run now! He would have to stand and fight. Alfred strikes, but his club is blocked.
You, cut.
The huge knife tears into his arm. His shadow falls over Alfred as the large man raises the knife again. The squire expected he would die.
And then?
Then the night returned. Batman leaps down from a line, distracting the thug. He lands in the snow before him, and Batman ducks his knife slash. He breaks the large man's arm at the elbow, and kicks him in the head to knock him out.
Don't ever touch my squire again.
Ever. Leslie, thank you so much for your invitation.
Not at all, Alfred.
And thank you so much for listening.
I wish you all the sweetest of dreams. Alfred bows before his delighted young audience. Well, mostly delighted.
Wait, that's it? That's all? That's not an ending.
Of course not, lad. It's a beginning.
Time for bed, everyone.
Alfred returns to Batman's hidden base. How's the arm? Compared with the injuries you've endured, 'tis but a scratch. I'm more than fit enough to serve. We'll start on Two-Face tomorrow. Very good, sir. There is something better, if possible, that a man can give than his life. That is his living spirit to a service that is not easy. Woodrow Wilson, May 30th, 1919. End. The Blue Boys set up an ambush for a very special target. They lie in wait in the shadows around a motionless woman playing dead and holding a knife. And now we wait. Gordon turns on a flashlight. There! Freeze, Batman! Batgirl stands before them, her hands on her hips.
Welcome, distinguished guest from Tri-Corner. You're out of your territory. To what do I owe the visit?
Curiosity.
The white flag is the traditional symbol for parley, not the crossbow. You there, behind the rubble? Step out and lower your weapon.
Who are you?
I'm on your side. One of the good guys.
So you've been doing the tagging?
Guilty.
Are you working with him? For him?
Sometimes. Other times I'm an independent operator. Then he's here? Back in Gotham? Batman? Yes, he's here.
I knew it! Give him a message from me. Tell him I don't want him around. Tell him I don't want to see him or talk to him. Tell him to stay the hell out of my territory.
I'll tell him, but I can't guarantee he'll listen.
And you, stay out of my territory as well, whoever you are.
Such hospitality. Well, you're welcome in my territory any time, Commissioner Gordon. That goes for all your gang. But I'd prefer it if you didn't sneak around like criminals. Could be dangerous. Good night, people.
Batgirl leaves them, swinging away into the darkness. Tri-Corner. Jim Gordon tends to his garden, while Sarah tends to him.
You didn't sleep at all last night, did you?
How could I? The nerve. A new Batgirl. Talk about disrespect. It's as if he's spitting on me.
Maybe not.
No? What else am I supposed to think?
Maybe this new Batgirl wasn't his idea.
Damn it, why are you taking his side?
I'm not taking sides. I'm a detective, so I'm trying to analyze facts. And the fact is, this situation may not be exactly black and white.
It is to me.
Another fact is, you're spending a lot of energy inventing reasons why you're being slighted, victimized, by your former ally, none of which are backed up by hard evidence.
Sarah, do you think he'll show up here?
After he gets your message? No. And I think his not showing up may disturb you more than if he does.
I don't need him, and I can't depend on him. And if he's not here, then I won't be tempted to depend on him. I'll become more self-reliant, and that's the best thing right now.
For you, perhaps. But for the city?
Batman comes across a man beating another man's motionless body with a stick and shouting at him to die. He runs, but Batman catches his legs with a bola and he trips. He wants Batman to take him to Blackgate Prison for his murder, but Batman checks the body and it has been dead for days. The man was hoping for safety and shelter in the prison, but after his trick is discovered, Batman simply leaves him. You're no murderer.
But you have to put me in prison, Batman. You're supposed to protect us, right? Keep us safe? Well, if Blackgate's safe, you have to put me there. What kind of hero are you, turning your back on people like me? Why should murderers get all the breaks? I'm a good guy. Why don't I get to be safe, too? If I die, it'll be your fault. My blood'll be on your hands.
Is he right? I'm not sure. This sort of thing could never have happened before. Distracted, I almost missed the message. Batman finds a note in a hiding spot reading, Meeting place number 4 at 2 p.m. It sounds like a baby. He heads toward the cry. Batman finds two women arguing over who should keep a baby. One says she was given the child by its mother before she died. The other says she found the baby unattended just now and nearly attacked by rats. And the first woman says she went somewhere dangerous for supplies for just a little while, not knowing about the danger here. Batman tries the old King Solomon trick of offering to split the baby in half, but neither woman is fooled in this modern time, and both decry the idea as sick. Batman ends the argument by taking the baby himself, and he leaves them arguing over the blame. Batgirl arrives at the meeting place.
A baby? Whose is it? Right. I won't ask. I saw an old friend of yours last night, James Gordon. He asked me to give you a message. Stay away. You're not welcome in his territory.
Gordon said that?
With no gray area for interpretation. What's the story? Why would he say that? Right. Just thought you'd like to know.
Batgirl leaves Batman to his business. Batman returns to his hidden base, and Alfred tends to the baby.
Anything wrong, sir?
No, I just need a shower.
Sir, perhaps you should tell me what's troubling you.
Nothing, Alfred. Nothing at all.
I beg to differ, sir. You put your shirt on inside out. A rare occurrence, to say the least.
Bruce looks down, and indeed, he has. He sinks into his chair. Confusion, Alfred. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I can't figure out what's right. Even Gordon wants me out. I don't know if I have a place here anymore. I swore an oath to fight for justice, and now I don't know how to keep that oath. Or even if I can. What good is an oath if it tears you apart?
You remind me of your father.
My father?
Once, when he was very troubled, he began taking extra showers midday. He put his shirt on inside out, too.
Tell me.
Take off your mask.
Why?
Because a story about Dr. Thomas Wayne should be told to his son, Bruce.
Bruce removes his cowl. Alfred tells Bruce a story about Thomas Wayne as a young man near Bruce's age. While working at a community clinic, he had to break into a pharmacy once to retrieve a drug after hours to try and save a patient's life. The attempt failed, and worse, he nearly was caught by police when he returned to leave a note of apology and arrange payment for the broken window. However, the pharmacist kept the note and used it to blackmail further money out of Thomas. Alfred noticed Thomas's stress, and he told Alfred everything, having no one else he could tell without the fear of harsh judgment.
In London, I was an amateur actor, sir, a student of human nature, and as a doctor, I believe you have a similar cognizance of human nature.
Meaning?
You're not the criminals, sir. Mr. Peck is.
Yes. And criminals are a cowardly lot. Thomas and Alfred cooked up a scheme, and he used his acting skills to impersonate a policeman. Officer Alfred and Thomas visited the pharmacist and intimidated him into returning the note, and the situation was finally resolved.
In the space of a month, your father committed vandalism, breaking and entering, and theft. Then he took the law into his own hands, lied, made a false accusation, and participated in fraud, all to uphold his Hippocratic oath, the oath he had sworn to before God, the oath that had been tearing him apart. He slept very well that night. Very well indeed.
Bruce picks up the baby. At least this child is still alive.
Batgirl finds the man who tried to trick Batman earlier.
What do you want?
It's what you want. Protection? Safety? That's what Batman told me.
You're gonna take me to prison?
No. Go 2 blocks west. It's GCPD territory. Tell them you want a job. Tell them you'll do anything. Scavenge, haul firewood, shovel compost. Do the job well, and you'll be protected. Any questions?
No.
Just don't expect it to be easy. It's a tough town.
The man heads in the direction he's been given, then turns back to Batgirl.
Thanks.
Batman returns to the 2 would-be mothers with the baby. Tell me, what would you do to keep this baby?
Anything. Anything I had to do, I'd do.
What would you do to keep the baby?
I'd do anything she would, and more.
Then I've decided. You are both to be responsible for the child.
But I don't trust her.
And I don't trust her.
I thought you both said you were willing to do anything. Well, anything means you have to work together. For the good of the child. Because in this place, a baby needs 2 parents, not just one. When one of you is looking for food, the other can be with the child. Agreed?
Yeah, okay.
Put your hands on mine and swear. An oath to me. With God as your witness. May you burn in hell if you break it. He holds out his hand. They both place their hands on Batman's.
I swear I will take care of this child. I swear it as well.
Take good care of him, and take care of each other, or else no one will survive. Batman leaves them to it.
I'm Jenna, short for Genevieve, Catherine, Kathy, and his name's Thomas. Thomas needs to be changed. Yes, he does. He may be Batman, but he doesn't know much about babies. No, but I think maybe he knows something about people.
Shades of Grey.
While most of Azrael's subplot has been cut from this production, he did have a few run-ins with the Joker after being tasked to handle him by Batman himself, and those will be included. Jellybean Deathtrap.
I can't poison the water supply. The water supply is already putrid. I can't foul the air. The air is already soot soup. I can't terrorize the citizens. The citizens are already scared out of their gourds. I am plenty frustrated, I'll tell you that.
Lonely, too. Ever since I left Arkham Asylum, I've been waiting for him. Like a little puppy waiting for its master.
I thought he'd come looking for me so he could bash me in the face and lock me in a cell. But does he? Does he even call?
Does he remember my birthday? Christmas? Groundhog Day?
No! But I've been thinking of him. Yes, indeedy-doody.
I built this giant extra special death trap just for him.
The Joker admires his shiny new Deathtrap, a large clear box loaded with instruments of death aimed in cartoonish excess at a single chair in its center.
It's got knives and bullets and explosives and acid. Oh, and lasers. He'll love the lasers.
I think that kinda cute myself. A nice touch. Très moderne.
Well, if Batman is going to be an unmannerly churl and forget his old pals, we'll just have to make him come.
Batman comes to Azrael as he searches an area for clues. Lose something? I thought you never came out during the day. Different tactics for different times. Before the quake, I didn't want to be visible. Now, the more I'm seen, the better. If people know I'm around, they might think twice about doing certain things. I repeat, did you lose something?
Not something. Someone. Named Calabax. He's a mutant, I think. A monster in all senses of the word.
They'll have to wait. I've got a job for you. I want you to take down the Joker.
Calabax is a cannibal.
Which makes him a Boy Scout compared to the Joker.
Okay, Calabax is on hold, for now. Where do I find the Joker?
6 blocks north of here, in Burnley. He declared the neighborhood his turf. Find him, free any captives he has, and then nail him hard.
What's he been up to?
I don't know. That's what worries me. Whenever the Joker's loose and quiet, expect the worst. He won't disappoint you.
I want to ask.
About Nicholas Scratch.
How did you...
Scratch is somewhere in Gotham, but he's not causing trouble, so we forget about him till he does.
The Joker isn't causing trouble either.
Yes, but he's the Joker. The task I've given you is important, difficult, dangerous, but you'll handle it. You'll do fine. Batman swings away.
You'll do fine.
He feels like he's just been appointed king of the world.
6 blocks north. Calabax headed north too.
Maybe he'll get lucky and find Calabax and the Joker. If meeting a pair of ruthless, sadistic, merciless, homicidal maniacs can be considered lucky. The Joker has kidnapped a child and placed him in the death trap, out in the open. Azrael finds the group he was taken from, and soon, the Joker as well. Azrael calls the Joker from the tree line.
I said, let the boy go.
You know you'll have to rescue him and put yourself in dire peril. I don't have to tell you that, surely. I mean, you and I have waltzed to this tune a time or two before. But first, there's a convention we must honor.
Go beat him up.
Gotcha, Mr. Joker.
A clown-faced thug rushes at Azrael in the trees. He is instantly thrown back, bleeding. Well, that was disappointingly fast. But at least we honored the conventions of the form. Now to the real deal.
I don't want to play games with you.
You're not him! He sent some sleazy second stringer! I'm mortified, and I gotta say it, a little hurt. Let me tell you this, Mr. Substitute Nemesis. I won't let you get skewered, sprayed, sliced, and smithereened by my magnificent machine. You're not worthy of my genius. Did I mention how hurt I am? So here's the drill. Either you crawl into one of those pipes, or the type gets snapped. Fast and forever.
It'd be easy to drop him. Easy to do what Batman asks. He might be bluffing about the boy, but if he isn't...
Azrael obeys, climbing into a huge pipe as Joker's henchman seals one end of it. Before he can seal the other, Azrael rolls the pipe into the water and swims out at the other end, right back to the surface. Doom, doom. He gets out of the water, angrier than ever.
No!
Azrael shouts, grabbing the Joker's goon and knocking him out with one punch.
Huh? Batman told me to nail you. He said to nail you hard.
Huh? Then he does care. Aw.
You think this is funny?
He is about to slug the Joker when he hears the child.
Mister, can you get me out of here? Please? I'm cold.
Azrael watches the Joker scamper away. He takes a step forward, and then he turns to a frightened child.
Sure, I'll get you out.
And as a bleak dawn again breaks over a ruined city, he begins his task. I failed. It took me 4 hours to figure out the trap and free the boy, and by then, the Joker was gone. I looked for him, but I didn't find him. So, I failed. You saved a life, a child's life. That was no failure. Azrael, I've never quite decided how much of what we do is about vengeance. Some, surely, but it has to be more about justice and compassion. If it's not, we're as corrupt as our enemies. You had a choice, and you chose well. Bruce puts a hand on Jean's shoulder. You chose compassion. I said you'd do fine, and you did. Azrael does not know what to say, whether to smile or merely nod. By the time he decides, Batman is gone. Then he moves slowly into the cold morning. End. I'm only including one short story from this issue of the Batman Chronicles. Harold, Bruce Wayne's mute helper who built the subway rocket seen in NightQuest and many other things around the Batcave, hasn't been seen since before the earthquake. This is his story. Harold. Harold is remembering his mother when the earthquake begins. Remembering the icy voice.
Get out of my sight! Do you hear me?
Rising to a scream.
Get out!
Wayne Manor implodes during the quake, falling into the ground. Her last words to him. Harold is buried, but quickly crawls out of the rubble. He doesn't know what happened, just that it was bad. Very bad. All the things Batman depends on him to fix, are ruined. He finds his toolkit. He has a lot of work to do. That's good. When he works, he is happy. He begins working on the Batmobile. But as he is beginning, his friend Alfred comes and...
Harold, lad, I wouldn't bother with that now.
Though he cannot speak, Alfred understands him. But it is broken.
I know, but there are more important matters to concern me.
More important than fixing things? Then what should I do?
Please, just go away until I call you.
Get out!
Harold begins to cry. He climbs to the surface. He has not seen daylight since Batman brought him to the cave. He has not wanted to. The breeze is sharp, cold, but he barely notices it. He feels like he is leaving the only home he has ever known. He is leaving the only home he has ever known. The only real home. And something is heavy in his throat. He walks. Nothing else to do. Then he sees it. A city. A whole city. Broken. Needing to be fixed. He has a lot of work to do. Harold begins to run. When he works, he is happy. End. The Visitor. As Superman flies into Gotham, he sees one man kicking another on the ground before a crowd. Gotham, it's worse than I feared. This city needs me. Those poor people, cast off by their own government, cowed into submission by petty tyrants. Not anymore.
Stewed tomatoes? 1 can of stewed tomatoes? That's your tribute? That's what you bring to me? It's all I've got, Mad Hatter. Superman zooms behind the Mad Hatter, taking out both of his armed henchmen. He pulls his hat down over his ears and throws him into his guards on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over. You're free to take back what's rightfully yours. He helps the victim up. Are you all right, sir? Yes. The man clings to Superman. What do you do? Do? This man looks half alive. What did you do beforehand? I was an engineer. I was chief engineer at the power plant. The crowd of people all look up. What is everybody? Superman sees Batman perched on a stone column. Ah, him. Come here. Superman flies up to him. What do you think you're doing? I came to help. Then leave. You're out of your element here. Now more than ever. I knew I'd have to do this sooner or later. Don't antagonize him. I respect you, Batman, and I've respected your sovereignty over this city. That hasn't always been easy. But these people need my help, and I wouldn't let you stop me. Say it. He needs to know I'm serious. Even if you could. Is that a smile? What makes you think I can't? He's bluffing, isn't he? Reaching for something. What? Batman pulls out a batarang on a line. You got 24 hours. Do all the good you can. I'll be waiting for you right here. He throws it and swings away. Superman returns to the chief engineer. Sir, I need your help. You need my help? We're going to rebuild that power station, sir. We're going to bring the light back to Gotham. Superman brings him to the main power plant. The quake took most of the men. The riots took the rest. I'm the only one left. Then we'd better get started. What's our first move? Sir, I know it looks impossible, but we'll just take it step by step. Now, what do we do first? Conduit. Check the main power conduit. The engineer directs him, and Superman does the heavy lifting. Remarkable. Just 4 hours ago, that man was completely broken. Now look at him. Working, sweating, fighting to win back his city. And all it took was the slightest glimmer of hope. Superman fuses a power conduit with his heat vision. If my father had men like that around him, our world might not have died. That should just about do it. Here, I found this in the wreckage. I think it belongs to you. Superman hands the man his chief engineer hard hat. Thank you. Throw the switch. The engineer moves the lever, and power returns to the station. It lights the building up like a beacon in the night. Gordon checks in on his garden. Still winter. You bloomed too soon. Commissioner, it's true. Superman's here. He's already got the number 9 power grid up and working.
Don't you see what this means? Even if he just stays a couple of weeks,
He won't stay.
What? What do you mean he won't stay?
What makes you so sure?
He's smart.
The engineer tells Superman something's interfering with the power line from outside, and he flies out there to check. As he does, men with guns invade the plant and find the chief engineer. Superman finds Mr. Freeze outside, already tapping into the power conduit. He flies past his henchmen, knocking them aside, and upends a large machine, melting part of it with heat vision. The men in the plant ask the chief engineer what they should do, having come to offer their service to the man with the power. One man throws himself at the engineer's feet, begging to have his power restored first. Meanwhile, outside, Superman powers through Mr. Freeze's freeze ray blast until he is frozen in a block of ice. But he soon breaks free, reaching for the villain. Superman lifts Mr. Freeze with one hand.
Drop the toys, Freeze. Listen up. You control this area. You're responsible for the conduit. If the power goes out again, I'm coming for you.
His eyes glow red in an intimidating stare.
We going to just take that?
For now.
While back inside,
What? No, you don't understand. I'm going to hook everyone up. It'll just take some time. I know. Hook me up first. I can't stand the cold.
Forget him.
a large man pushes the begging man aside.
Whew.
He grabs the chief engineer,
Hook me up first, or I'll kick your head in.
but the guards quickly pull him off.
Back off. Don't worry, boss.
They subdue him with the butt of a gun and aim it at him.
We got this. All right, all of you, back up. I want to see one line. You all know the drill. You'll all get your turn.
The crowd of people form a line, all prepared to offer their tribute to the chief engineer. The begging man holds up a can of stewed tomatoes.
Please. It's all I've got.
Power's back up. Good.
Superman flies back to the plant and sees the line of people and the guards.
Wait.
What?
Really, my men and I have all that we need. I'm putting you down in order, just like everyone else.
An old woman leaves a jar of preserved fruit on his table anyway.
Bless you.
Superman lands by the table.
What's going on here? This is all wrong. You've got to tell these people. Make them understand. It doesn't have to work like this.
How?
I...
Superman turns to the crowd, but he can't find the words to speak. The people swarm past him, eager to line up. He rises slowly into the air. Superman returns to the stone column to meet with Batman.
You were right. I didn't understand. They're not ready. It took me longer than you to figure that out. How are you going to do it? How are you going to bring the city back? I don't know. I'll find a way. I hope. End.
Claim Jumping Part 1. The current map shows the Blue Boys sharing the south end with Two-Face on the east, who shares a border with Penguin to the north of them, with the Social or the Triads holding their western side. Batman has claimed the northern half of the city, expanding around the MASH sector where Leslie Tompkins treats the wounded, with Ivy still holding the park, and Croc, Mr. Freeze, and Zsasz holding smaller areas in the middle. Many names are crossed off the list now, the villains and street gangs who have been defeated and left the city or dispersed into other groups. Those include Black Mask, Mad Hatter, and Scarecrow, along with the street demons and lowboys.
Ever think about land? I mean, really think about it. What people will do for land, for territory they call their own. We're talking dawn of time, primal motivations here. All for land. NML, day 127. Tail end of the worst winter anyone can remember. It's not. The winters of 88 and 67 were far worse. And that's just this century. But in 88 and 67, people had central heat. Or at least standing shelter. When the river froze, some thought it was their way out.
2 people try crossing the ice. They step on a mine and it explodes, leaving just a hole behind.
Nobody tries to escape anymore. So we wait for spring. All of us.
Alfred looks out a window.
We wait
Montoya looks over a growing plant.
and wait
Sarah lays in bed, alone.
and wait.
Oracle bundles up with hot cocoa.
Most of us do, at any rate.
Batman and Jim Gordon both hunch over their desks, planning.
Others plot.
Two-Face and the Penguin meet at their border, both with small armies of men.
And what exactly are you offering, my bipartisan friend? A solution to a mutual problem. We don't have to fight. If you're proposing a surrender, Harvey, I should caution you. By all reports, my forces vastly outnumber yours. But you can't attack me. You've got to deal with Batman. You're supposed to play nice. Only as long as it serves me. I can give you his land. Keep your hands clean.
Such largesse is unlike you, Harvey. Meaning, my confrere, what's in it for you?
You always were the smart one. Meaning you take pressure off my north border. That frees my men to go west.
Gordon's on your west.
I'll destroy him.
You do take it all personally, don't you, Harv? And you can deal with Batman?
I guarantee it. 2 days is all I need. That and some help from you.
Help? How?
Several things. We start with a little false information to bait our vigilante.
NML, day 128.
Batgirl calls Oracle for information, but she gets angrily hung up on, as Barbara tells her she only deals with Batman.
That was unprofessional.
I know who she is. Don't talk to me about professional.
I don't have time for this. You have intel?
Your new pal Penguin says Two-Face is on the move.
Penguin's paranoid. Two-Face is on his border.
True, but one of my agents confirmed that there's something brewing at City Hall. Something about trial by combat. Two-Face brand justice sounds like. Tomorrow night. Figured you'd want to check it out.
I will.
You want to know what I think?
No.
Batman leaves.
I think it's a trap.
Gordon tells his troops they're attacking Penguin's land to the north. Some of them object as the Penguin still has bullets, but Gordon sees no better way to shore up their defenses, as taking out Zosha to the west opens them up to everyone beyond them. They're a useful buffer zone. Beyond Penguin is just Ivy in the park, and she's unlikely to leave there.
They'll get us all killed.
This is not open to debate, Foley.
You think you're a general, but you're not. You're just a petty dictator.
Foley slams the door as he storms out. Any other objections? That's all then. I hate to say it, Commissioner, but Foley's right. We don't have the manpower. I know. Then you know we'll probably lose. And if that happens, it's over. Chaos will rule Gotham until Judgment Day. I'll try to calm Foley down. Commissioner? There's no other way.
Remember, it's all about land. NML, day 129.
Renee Montoya meets with Jim Gordon alone on his roof.
Sir, you wanted to see me?
Close the door, Renee. Do you trust me?
Absolutely, Commissioner.
I need you to do something. It's not an easy thing. It's something where, if you're caught, I'll deny I asked you to do it. No one can know. You understand?
You can trust me, sir.
Sarah waits inside while they talk.
What's up? Nothing. It was nothing.
After Renee leaves, Sarah eyes Jim suspiciously, but says nothing.
Nothing.
Batman confers with Batgirl.
Crazy? You don't know what you're walking into.
Probably a trap, but there are lives at stake.
Then let me come with you.
I'll be back by dawn. Protect our territory.
Me and what army?
I'm counting on you. Batman swings away. Don't want you on the front.
The General's wife is also an officer, Jim. If we're going up against Penguin, I'm going to be out there.
Renee Montoya finds Jim and Sarah on their roof.
What? I need to speak with the commissioner. Go ahead. Alone.
It'll just take a few minutes, Sarah.
Sarah scowls at Jim, but goes inside.
Midnight.
He'll give us support?
He said he'd already taken care of it.
Thank you, Renee.
We've sold our souls.
Batman watches Two-Face's event with binoculars, a trial by combat between Rhino, now working for Two-Face or perhaps just freelancing in gladiator matches, and a small Russian woman. They prepare to fight before a booing crowd, calling out that the fight is fixed.
Nothing personal, you understand? You're just guilty.
Sure.
The small woman ducks and dodges Rhino's broad swings easily, parrying his large club with a sword, until he catches her with a kick.
Oh! Yeah!
Before he can bring his club down, 3 batarangs stick into his arm. Batman follows with a jump kick to his back.
Huh? That's enough.
Penguin, Two-Face, and Gordon all make their moves on the stroke of midnight.
Now! Take my hand! Now!
Batman fires his grapple gun.
Hold on!
He and the woman fly into the sky as Rhino dives into the spot where they were. They land safely on a rooftop.
You alright?
The woman knocks Batman out with a hidden club and a kick to the head.
Brestite. I'm sorry.
Claim Jumping, Part 2.
NML, day 129. The call started 4 minutes past midnight. My agents radioing in, one after another.
Batman's territory overrun.
Gordon's attacking Penguin.
200, hear me? Two-Face.
Penguin's
troop.
Heavy Blue Boy losses.
Said Two-Face, moving north.
Out of nowhere. All urgent, all frantic, all telling me the same thing. That all hell has broken loose. Event 1. Two-Face is on the move, and he's got more men than any of us thought.
Two-Face leads from the front of his army, wielding twin 45s.
200, maybe more, armed and ready and marching uptown. Event 2. James Gordon, my dad, and the Blue Boys. A surprise offensive against Penguin's south border.
Jim Gordon also fights on the front lines, firing 2 revolvers.
And paying for each block in blood.
Behind his back, Sarah is shot.
Event 3. At the same moment Dad attacks Penguin to the south, Penguin attacks Batman's territory to the north.
Batgirl stands amidst a crowd of unconscious bodies, taking out multiple opponents simultaneously as she fights back the Penguin's forces.
My spy says that Batgirl is holding her own, but of her boss, there's been no sign.
The Russian woman has Batman tied to a pipe. She checks a watch and injects him with a sleeping drug.
Sleep. Dream.
Batgirl tells Penguin he's violating his truce with Batman, but he doesn't care since Batman is absent at the moment. Oracle's agent reports the standoff, but he is then taken as a hostage as Penguin attempts to force Batgirl to surrender. Instead, she throws a batarang in a line around the spear at the agent's back and yanks it away. Batgirl dives at a thug holding a crossbow and turns him, firing an arrow into the Penguin's leg.
Huh?
Just as a new player arrives on the scene.
Gobblepot!
Two-Face approaches Penguin's small group with an army at his back.
Harvey, come to help? Leave. Now. We had a deal, Harvey, you duplicitous. You had a deal with the Bat, too. This is me using you, you arrogant, waddling buffoon. See, while you're here bleeding out, Gordon and his cops have just annexed your southern border. which means your territory, instead of doubling, has just been reduced by half. Heh. Now leave my territory before I have you killed.
The Penguin's men help him slink away with his wounded leg as Harvey checks his watch. He cheerfully waves to Batgirl on a rooftop.
Huh?
Aren't you going to fight him? Alone? How? Tell Oracle. Batman's territory is lost.
Jim and Barbara visit Sarah in the infirmary.
Slipped over the ribs. You got lucky, just a graze. Oh, yeah, I feel real lucky.
She'll be fine?
She'll be fine. Thanks, Renee. You'll just have to be careful with your hugs, Dad.
Don't scare me like that again, Sarah.
If you insist.
I'll be right back. Renee?
Coming.
Jim and Renee head outside.
What's our status?
We've secured the perimeter to Robinson Park.
And Penguin supplies?
We found 6 caches so far. Weapons, medicines, winter clothing.
I need you to go to him again.
Sir?
Just tell him it worked. That we're done. And
Gordon! Foley angrily rushes toward Gordon.
Are you happy, Commissioner? 11 good men dead!
He points at the bodies in the snow.
The price of your ego!
Jim decks him. Foley sits in the snow, holding his chin, while Gordon walks away. The Russian woman holding Batman is also a psychic, and she looks into his mind, seeing his deepest trauma, the murder of his parents, and the soul of the bat within him.
Portia, to see your own parents murdered, that is a horrible thing. You have my sympathies.
keep them.
I have kept you here for 4 hours. Time enough for Two-Face to take what was yours. I am truly sorry for your loss.
She leaves Batman alone. He flips backward over the pipe, wraps his arms around the end, and tears it out of the roof, tossing it away after. Batman puts back on his gloves and utility belt. Leaping across the broken rooftops and swinging from crumbling gargoyles, Batman makes his way back to his territory, seeing that Two-Face's tags have replaced his own. Several of his soldiers are dead and tied to a wall beneath a banner reading, "Tails, you lose. Not the end." Mark of Cain, Part 1. Batman finishes burying his dead, marking their graves with rough wooden crosses. Batgirl watches him from behind a tombstone, afraid to approach. She watches him bow his head in grief, then tries to sneak away.
I trusted you.
When she turns, he is gone. Oracle awaits the return of her best courier. A young Asian woman, Cassandra, finally arrives with her messages, as well as an apple for her teacher. Barbara has been teaching Cassandra how to speak English, as she is capable of speech, but has learned no spoken languages. During today's lesson, Jim Gordon arrives. "Barbara, I need you."
That was very good. I mean it. Tomorrow, okay?
Cassandra looks at them sadly as she leaves. On her way out, Cassandra notices a man she knows in the street and quickly hides from him. She follows the man to a high window, where he unpacks a sniper rifle. He aims it out the window at Jim Gordon, to Cassandra's alarm. Just as Gordon enters his crosshair and his finger tightens on the trigger, Cassandra jumps in front of Jim, blocking his shot.
Huh?
The assassin recoils in shock. Gordon's men open fire on the window. The man drops his gun and backs away, taking a round in the shoulder. He barely seems to notice it. A blue boy crashes into his room, and the assassin quickly slugs him in the stomach, then snaps his neck. He slips away as the blue boys flood the building's alley, headed inside. Meanwhile, Batman has slipped past all of Two-Face's army into his bedroom and tied him to his bed.
I'm running out of options, Harvey. Those people you slaughtered. I vowed to avenge them, Harvey. On their graves. How am I going to do that? There's no judge to sentence you. No jury to convict. So what's left?
Gagged as well as bound, Harvey looks terrified.
Both of him. You know, I think I get it now.
Batman considers one of his scarred coins, taken from a full jar of them on his nightstand.
It must be nice not to have to choose.
He flips it,
Just this once.
and catches it in his fist. After taking a moment to let the message sink in, he throws the coin away.
Ting!
Don't force my hand, Harvey. We'll both lose.
Batman heads out the window. Back at the GCPD, Jim Gordon questions Cassandra.
No, miss. I don't think you understand. I need to know who. Who tried to shoot me?
She has drawn a symbol and points to it.
This is getting us nowhere. Keep working on someone for whatever language she speaks. But I can't wait any longer. Put the perimeter guards on alert. Also, make sure...
Dad, I recognize this. It's the mark of Cain.
Cain? David? Cain?
Sir, if that's true, we need to move you to a safe...
Hold on. Cain shoots girls. He didn't shoot you. Why? You know him, don't you?
Cassandra points to Jim, then to Barbara, then to Cain's symbol, and to herself.
You're his daughter? Sir, if he finds you...
He won't have to. He's killed 2 of our men. We're going to find him.
Cassandra tries to stop Jim from leaving.
Montoya? Barbara, I need you to lock her in for the night.
What?
She's young, headstrong. I don't want her trying to shield me again.
She breaks free from Renee, grabs the keys from Jim's hand, and slips out the door before anyone can stop her. She locks it behind her. Cain stands in the room with her, aiming a handgun and waving her away. She refuses to move from the door, and he fires. Bullets impact all around her body, barely missing her. Cassandra leaps forward and swipes the gun from Cain's hand. She socks him with an uppercut, then holds her bloody fist before her. She remembers holding it the same way as a little girl, having just assassinated a mob boss, as Cain burst into the room and shot the guards. Her victim slumped to his desk, holding his bleeding neck.
Stop!
What did you just... You can speak?
Cain drops his guns and crouches beside her.
Can you understand me?
They both have tears in their eyes. Jim Gordon kicks in the door. Cassandra remembers Cain's arms outstretched with pride and approval after her first kill. But here and now he begins to pick up his guns. As a child, she socked him in the chin just as she did moments ago and ran away crying. Now she charges and tackles her surrogate father out the window while repeating her first word ever spoken.
Stop!
Mark of Cain, Part 2. Our story jumps back in time just a bit to when Batman was surveilling Two-Face earlier that day.
He thinks he can scare me. Thinks he can stop me. There's nothing wrong with him a bullet in the head won't fix.
Not relying on his tech, he simply reads Harvey's lips from across the street on a balcony, where he has taken out a sniper on guard duty.
More important matters. Get the money and the troops ready. If Cain is as good as his reputation, Gordon should be dead by now.
Using his binoculars, Batman sees someone rappelling down the GCPD building in order to attack Gordon.
Cain!
Cassandra and David Cain fall from the window together in an embrace.
Nice tackle. I taught you too well.
David grabs her hand as his legs are caught by a bat rope, breaking their fall. They both look up to see Batman holding the rope. The line digs into Batman's hands, drawing blood.
Hold on! I've got you!
Cassandra looks past the blood on her own hands at her father. He looks back down at her, the daughter he thought lost. She plants her feet on his shoulders and shoves off, yanking her hands out of David's grip.
No!
She sees Batman glide down after her, having tied off David's rope. Cassandra Cain is enveloped by darkness in the shape of a bat.
She awakens in a graveyard. Who are you? What's your connection to Cain? Answer me. Do you speak English? Konyu? Nihongo? Tagalog?
Cassandra holds up her hand. She places her fingers over her lips, then forms a fist. Bruce remembers when he trained with David Cain as a young man preparing to be Batman.
Fists, not tongues. Blows, not words. I'm going to teach you a new language. A better one. If only I'd gotten a hold of you sooner.
I'm a fast learner.
You don't speak any language, do you? Except violence.
Cassandra throws a punch. Bruce remembers David doing the same and deflecting it.
Just like I taught you.
He repeats the motion, stopping Cassandra's punch the exact same way, and her expression softens.
How'd you guess? Look, whatever your involvement was, it's over. Stay away.
Batman holds up a palm, signaling stop. She draws Cain's symbol in the dirt, pointing to it and herself.
No, Cain's not your problem.
Batman draws Two-Face's symbol and points to that.
Two-Face hired him. That makes him my problem.
She assumes a fighting pose.
What? What are you?
Bruce remembers David again.
I call this the suicide drill. Your goal is to stop me. You can't, but try.
He holds up his palm again.
Don't worry. I can stop him.
Cassandra throws a combination of punch, kick, punch, and Batman blocks all of them. Then he ducks her jump kick, her form mirroring David's from the past. He blocks her next punch, before she gets one by, hitting him in the jaw. But he dodges the next one. Batman's hand shoots out to her throat, quick as a snake, and stops, his fingers hooked as hers were when she pulled out the mob boss's trachea, causing her to remember David as well, tearing out the throat of a dummy.
I can stop him. I can stop them all.
Cassandra looks at her hand, now noticing Batman's blood on it. As he walks away, she scowls at Two-Face's symbol. Once again, David Cain takes aim at Jim Gordon. This time, he remembers Cassandra falling, and then puts down his gun. He reconsiders, aiming again.
How long have you been standing there? Long enough for you to stop yourself.
Cain and Batman leap towards one another. Meanwhile, Two-Face has been preparing to possibly hang some people he has deemed guilty. As he flips his coin, a pair of eyes loom at him from the darkness behind him. Ding! Cassandra emerges in a black mask, smacking his coin away and standing before him, her fingers hooked around his throat.
Ding! Nobody move!
She slowly traces the line of his split face with her finger.
Who the hell are you?
Batman and Cain pause in their battle, both bloody but unbent.
I know about you. You won't kill me, so you can't stop me. You sure about that?
They leap at each other again. Both of their fists impact bags of money instead. They turn and see Cassandra standing nearby.
You're alive!
David starts toward her, but she signals him to stop. David turns his back and leaves them. She turns to Batman, who is now holding Harvey's coin. Nice touch. Without it, Two-Face huddles in a corner, robbed of his ability to make decisions.
Somebody get this man a silver dollar!
Barbara shows Cassandra a picture of herself as Batgirl.
You saved his life. I can't thank you enough.
Cassandra points at the picture.
Yes, that's me. It was a long time ago. Take it. I want you to have it.
Oracle. Call them.
The end. And, after the earth shattered and the buildings crumbled, the nation abandoned Gotham City. Then only the valiant, the venal, and the insane remained in the place they called No Man's Land. Call them.
They'll need time to get here.
24 hours. If they can't do it in that,
Then they arc up to the task at hand. In the meantime, I have business to take care of.
Batman swings away from Oracle's clock tower. Jim Gordon works in his garden before dawn.
Jim? Hon?
Hmm?
You coming to bed?
In a minute.
Sarah goes inside. Soon, Jim realizes that he's not alone as Batman arrives.
Jim, go away.
Gordon turns to face him.
I don't want what you're selling. I didn't want your help against Cain, and I don't want it now. Get out of my home.
Jim, hear me.
No, you hear me. Leave.
Batman glowers at Jim. Jim slugs Batman across the chin. Bruce turns away and hangs his head as Gordon readies another fist. Two-Face isn't an ally you can trust. Batman vanishes.
Neither, apparently,
Were you. Sarah returns.
Jim? I heard shouting. Jim?
Gordon also slumps, looking defeated. As much as he may not want to admit it, Jim knows that Batman is right. Robin, Nightwing, and Azrael have arrived at the clock tower.
Talking about me behind my back. You wish, short stuff.
Ha, then you must have met me.
He's delusional.
Dick playfully slaps Tim.
Ow!
Watch it. You're not too big to spank. Azrael? Nightwing? And this would be?
She doesn't have a name. She's been helping. They're okay, if goofy. The smaller one, he's Robin. The bigger one, with the ego to match, that's Nightwing.
What is this, Abuse Nightwing Day?
Only until 5, then it's Abuse Azrael Day.
Hey, nice to meet you. Dick holds out his hand to Cassandra. She makes a fist and places it in his palm. Don't think that's how you do it.
Nice way to say how do you do, huh?
Neat. If that's what she's saying. Batman arrives. It's good to see you. You've come far. Now I need you to wait here. Nightwing, you're with me. Their reactions are mixed. Oh, so that's how it's going to be.
And where are we going?
You'll see. Cassandra grabs Tim's hand.
Hey!
Relax, Robin. She's just saying hello. She places her fist in his palm. Batgirl prays with a small cross alone on her rooftop at sunrise. After a while, she goes inside. Batgirl takes off her mask. It's harder than you thought, isn't it, Huntress? Not working out like you planned?
No. Did you know from the start?
Yes. 6 people are dead. My fault as much as yours. You want to keep that cowl? I have to be able to trust you. I have to know that you'll follow orders.
I tried.
Trying isn't enough. You were to stop Black Mask out of sight of the clock tower. You failed. I told you not to follow me when I took Black Mask into custody. You disobeyed. I told you to protect our territory, our people. But Two-Face now commands that land, and 6 more bodies are in the ground.
And you blame me!
Huntress throws her mask at Batman, and he catches it. No, I hold you responsible, as I hold myself.
You think I don't know what happened? You think I can just forget that they're dead? You think I can sleep at night? You think I can forgive myself? You left me alone to face 200 of Two-Face's goons! What was I supposed to do?
More. You lack discipline. You lack control. You're too emotional. If you want to remain with me, with us, you'll have to find a way to fall into line. Otherwise, you're out. That's the way it has to be.
Yes, your way. The only way. And nothing else will do. Either I'm your lapdog, or I'm nothing. Is that it? Huntress, think. Keep out of this. You may submit to him because you want to. But I don't take orders. And certainly not from you.
That's the problem.
Not mine. Not anymore.
Nightwing reaches out to her.
Don't touch me. I won't be what you want, Batman. Don't ask me. I can't.
Then stay out of it. You'll only get in the way.
I can't do that either.
Huntress sinks down to her floor, holding her cross, as Batman and Nightwing leave via the rooftops, while the sun rises over Gotham.
You can't push her like that and expect her to play along.
I know.
Then you know she won't stay out of it. She'll go rogue.
Yes.
Uh-oh. I know that tone. That's the I have a plan tone.
Yes. I made a mess of it, Dick. I tried to pretend it was the same. I knew what I was working for. Gotham's redemption. But I didn't know how to get there. What Two-Face did woke me up.
That's why you called for us.
Yes. Let's go. Oracle is waiting.
Batman and Nightwing swing away, headed back to the clock tower. Batman addresses the assembled members of the Bat family.
I need your help. I thought I could. I thought I needed to do this alone. A back-to-basics approach. I was wrong.
The boys gasp in unison.
No one person can do this alone. No Man's Land is too big. Too dark. The only way to bring light back to Gotham is working together. All of us.
By us, you mean also her.
Correct. I can see where this is going.
You can trust her. 6 months ago, that would have gotten you further than it will now.
Now? I'm not sure it's enough.
What more would it take?
An explanation of who she is, for a start.
She has no name. Her father is the assassin Cain. He raised her to be a perfect killer, the ultimate fighter. She rebelled, fled from him. She came here. Oracle found her. She's been learning for the last 5 months. The young woman is as well trained and committed as any of you. She will never take a life. She will never surrender a fight.
You're so certain.
Her father was one of the men who trained me.
Cain trained you?
Knowing how to kill doesn't mean you must kill. That's why she left him. That's why she's here now.
I'm still not sure that's enough.
Oracle?
You can trust her. Last week she saved my father's life. Twice. Everything Batman said about her is true. She can do the job. She has my blessing.
All right. Then this is what we're going to do. Oracle will continue to gather, interpret, and disseminate tactical intelligence for our operations. Robin will work with me on a special project in Robinson Park. Within 24 hours, Nightwing will be inside Blackgate. Within 48 hours, Blackgate will be under his complete control. And Azrael and our new friend will find out what Nicholas Scratch is up to, and put a stop to him. The man most responsible for Gotham City being declared a no man's land. Any questions? No one says a word. Batman hands Cassandra Cain a wrapped package. It is a sacred trust. Remember that.
Honor it.
Shh. She opens up the paper and finds her own new batsuit. You can change in the bedroom. The new Batgirl returns to the others.
She looks almost as good in the ears as you did.
My opinion? She looks better.
Enough. There's work to be done.
The 5 members of the Bat family swing into action as one.
Assembly. End of Part 1.
As we leave the No Man's Land, for now, Batman controls nearly half the city, minus the land stolen by Two-Face. The Blue Boys are stacked in between enemies on all sides in Gotham's south end. Just how long can Gordon's alliance with Two-Face last? Still to be dealt with are Poison Ivy, Killer Croc, and a Penguin hungry for revenge, as well as unforeseen enemies and threats on the horizon, because although this is the end of Part 1 of a planned 3, the story is far from over. My current plans are to continue adapting the event until it is done. Until we meet again, take care out there. And, as always, thanks for watching.